I said, plug me in. I got stuff to talk about, damn it. I'll call out of my earbuds once a week to give you a show. That's what I do, folks. I do this show for the common man, for the people in despair. I bring this show into the world and I sell it everywhere. The simple truth lies waiting here, folks, for all of you to share. Hold on, I will take you there. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Episode 1, Year 7, folks. We are back for the attack like Dokken. I bring Dokken up a lot on this show, and I shouldn't. You would think by Year 7 I would have stopped with the Dokken references, but I just can't. I can't do it, goddammit. But you know what? Here's the theme for this year, for the Year 7 show. We're going to overdrive the shit out of this thing, right? I just told Lily that should be the name of the show, and she's just like, well, you've never said it on the show. Guess what? Fucking first 5 seconds of goddamn Year 7, right there, overdriving the shit out of this goddamn show. This is odd, folks. First of all, I will tell you this. Year 7 is a special year because our friend Lily von Stupp has... yes, that's right, folks. Get ready. Year 6, as you know, was an afterthought. Year 6, Lily did not care. Year 6, Lily had tuned herself out and was not interested in anything that I had to say or do. And so she would take show notes on whatever scrap of paper happened to be handy. Some sort of discarded receipt covered with lube. She would just go ahead and scrawl on it. She would wind up having a lipstick and scrawling on the fridge and then erasing it. There's some sort of dry erase board. And she actually carved the notes into her arm once with a fork, like Eva Kripe, who I went to high school with. I should not mention real names. Eva Kripe's a real person, though. And she actually carved the word Y into her arm with a fork. Did I talk about that on the show?
Yes,
because you know what? Because how do you get that fucking memory out of your head? You can't, right? Eva Kripe was a girl I went to high school with who carved the word Y into her arm with a fork. How do you come back from that? Oh my God, how do you come back from that? Because honestly, 35 years later, I'm telling the story on this new fucking thing we call podcasting. She didn't even think of that then. Do you think she thought of that then? When she was carving, when she got to the end of the W, when Eva Kripe carved the W of Y into her arm, did she go, you know, I should probably rethink this because in about 35 years, they're going to invent something that people are going to love. And a guy who I've maybe had a casual acquaintance with in a hallway is going to tell everybody about this. Fuck it, HY. Done. She probably should have thought about it. You should have really thought about that, Eva. So this is odd. I will tell you this too, because folks, and it's going to be weird for all of you. Because this is episode 1 of Year 7, and we're talking. So the thing is, like I said, Lily normally scrawling everything on nothing, just going ahead and doing everything she can to just avoid doing the work that's necessary for her to do for this show because she's tuned me out. But I show up today, episode 1, Year 7. Lily has actually purchased a legal pad for this season. That's right. She purchased a legal pad for this year. Folks, that's got to be, what was that, $1? That had to be $1. You're $1 more invested in this year than you were in all of fucking Year 6. Good for you.
I found it in a box.
Found it in a box. How quickly you reduced me to afterthought yet again. You couldn't even play along with the I spent $1 on you, Mike. You couldn't even fucking do that. I've bought you ribs, for fuck's sake. I brought you lunch on occasion. All right, you know what? Your portion of the donations to this show is getting halved. I'm cutting it in half.
Take that $1 out.
Yeah, you're getting 40 cents now. So this is weird. I'm going to fucking tell you this, folks. As I talk, because I do this show, and I've filmed myself before. We've filmed me talking and put it on YouTube when I was doing part of the show. And people have always written, it's so weird to see him doing it. It's so weird to see him talking. Oh my God, it's so strange. Which is why when I do Podcastathon and stuff, I guess maybe because that's a conversation with a bunch of people, but to just see me fucking yelling into space, it's got to be weird. I mean, it would be like fucking peeking in at Renfield when he was in the goddamn, the asylum eating bugs. No, I'm not going to eat any bugs, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. I refuse to eat bugs. As you know, I'm not a bug fan. But we filmed me before and we've put it online and people thought it was weird. But as I do episode 1 of Year 7, there is now a video component for this show. And by video component, I mean there is a fucking intern dude in here walking around with a camera and putting it in my goddamn face. And by intern, I mean professional. I don't know what he does. I don't know what they pay this guy. There's a ton of dough involved. Folks, there's a podcasting documentary that a lot of you out there contributed to. You end up giving money to, and you're hoping to see come to fruition. And I got to tell you right now, in my kitchen, right now, in my stripper's kitchen, it's coming to fruition before my very eyes. The crew from Earbuds, the podcasting documentary, is here, and they are filming us as we talk. And by we, I mean me. But they have a steady cam shot just on me. They're not filming Lily at all. Because I got to be honest with you, Lily's not even here. She's in the other room. We piped her in. We built a control booth with all of the money that you guys sent us over the past years, and we finally gone ahead and isolated her. And here's the weird thing: she's in the control booth running the show, and but we also have a fan blowing dollar bills all around her, and she's scooping them up and throwing them in her dress. Seems odd, right? Seems weird that you would combine the two activities, because honestly, 6 days out of the week she's here with that booth. She could be doing the dollar thing all alone, but she waited till I showed up to produce the show and scoop the dollars up. That's how uninvested she is in this motherfucker. As a matter of fact, the dollar that you could have spent on the goddamn Staples legal pad is in that booth. I fucking provided it. So we're being filmed, and it's fucking strange. I'm not going to lie to you. I had sat down and I talked to my good friend Graham Elwood here as we were being interviewed and talking, and he had his very professional binder, and asked me tons of questions, which I fucking chili dipped. I know I did. I can't wait. The interview, because again, I looked at Lily halfway, because folks, I need my Lily. You know that. So I look at her and I'm always like, is this right? Is this good? Is this happening? And poor Graham has to suffer through that bullshit, because that literally during a regular interview, an interview with my friend of 20 years, I looked at Lily and I go, too much? Like, am I okay here? And she goes, you're being you. And I go, nobody likes me. Fuck, why the fuck would I be me? That's fucking terrible. I can't be me in this thing. I got to find somebody else to be quick. One of the reasons they're talking to me is because I'm always me. That's fucking terrible. Nobody wants to hear about me at all. But they also filmed me. Dudes. And look, you know me. You know how I fucking feel about this. But I did it because we're furthering the cause. They filmed me at Barbecue House. They fucking filmed Travis Barbecue on his rounds. They filmed him working. They got a camera in the car, and they talked to me, and I grabbed a bag of coleslaw and ribs, and I brought it to an unsuspecting customer. And I leaped out like a superhero, and I ran to their door. And I will tell you this is totally fucking true. Folks, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong these days. I'm lifting, and I'm looking good. I've lost 7 pounds. I'm down to 255. Dude, I haven't seen 255 since probably Tahoe. Since fucking dancing every night to the fucking Human League Tahoe. That's where I was, goddammit. So fucking, I have never looked this good. Honestly, I had fucking, that was fucking Coral Bugle Boy shirt and fucking acid wash jeans and fucking tagging nurses in their house before their fucking fiance came home from the military. That was me back then, goddammit. That was Mike Schmidt taking panties out of a drawer and hanging it on a wall back at the house to fucking show his conquests. That's where I was. And now I'm back. I'm 255. I'm right there because I was 245 around then. So, dude, 10 more pounds and I'm going to fucking nurse. So, what happened was, so I'm down to like I said, I'm down to like 255, and now I'm running. Like I'm actually flat out running. But here's the thing: is like I don't like doing cardio at the gym because you don't really go anywhere. I do like it because it's self-contained, and I like being on the treadmill, and I run in place, which is fine. Because here's the thing: I don't mind running somewhere. I hate running back. Fuck that. I should have houses all along like a fucking route, and I should just be able to crash into like safe houses. How fucking great would that be? Dude, they need to make like a Joggerville, like The Sims, where if you go out running and you can just go, I'm tired, and you just walk in the house and go to sleep. That'd be fucking amazing. I don't know if you sleep off a jog. Seriously, I'm terrible at jogging if I got to sleep it off. Holy shit. How bad am I? Dude, I've gone like a quarter of a mile. I got to get a fucking nap. Holy God. And it was leg day yesterday, so my legs are a little tight. Oh yeah, you can hear them probably. My hamstrings are creaking. Anyway, I wound up, so I'm doing this running thing where I don't like go. I mean, I do cardio at the gym too, but in my regular life, they always say take the stairs. They're like, dude, take the stairs. It like takes years off your life, or it makes you happy, or it fucking fixes your shoes, whatever the fuck. I have no idea what they say, but they say take the goddamn stairs. Well, I do. I take the stairs 2 at a time, and I'm rampaging. But here's what I've started doing, and I actually look. Part of me does it because it's like for the exercise and the oomph, but part of me does it because it's just fucking ridiculous. I have been going to deliveries, and I'll knock on a person's door. And they open the door, and it's like I make the small talk and the chit chat, and I take their card and I do a thing, and I hand them their food, and they're like, "All right, thanks." And I go, "Okay, enjoy your dinner," and I run as fast as I can away from their house. I'm not even kidding. I sprint. I fucking just turn around and like a fucking superhero of barbecue has to get back to his goddamn house immediately. I got to get back to my secret lair to avoid the fucking coleslaw goblins. It's like so brutal. I'm not kidding. I've done it. I've started doing it just this past week and a half, and I can almost, like, literally the first time I did it, I almost tripped over the question marks that flew out of the person's head because they had no idea what the fuck was happening. What did I do to make that guy run away? But I just love doing it because it's good exercise. But B, just the vapor trail of confusion I leave in my wake is worth the effort. It's just fucking, just to know that they're standing there with their barbecue and I sprint away. This fat guy just running. Why is that fat guy? First of all, why is fat guy running anyway? Then they got to think it has something to do with them or their tip or they did something wrong in their fucking house. They're like, Jesus Christ, did I? And they have to think it's them, right? They have to think like they smell there's something wrong, or they just think that there's like time lapse. Like, oh, dude, what if I planted a barbecue bomb? That must be it. They must be thinking to themselves, holy shit, there's a barbecue bomb. They got to fly. You know what? Dude, if I come to your house and I give you barbecue and then I fucking sprint away, just dump it in the tub and run the fucking faucet on it. Go red wire, blue wire, call fucking Danny Glover because he's too old for this shit and he'll fucking disconnect the goddamn bomb and everything's happening. You're going to be safe. I promise you'll be safe. But if I run away from your house, that thing's going. It's going to blow. That thing is going to fucking blow. Immediately dunk it in a basket of water. Call the fucking robots. Call the fucking SWAT team to go ahead and have that thing that drives in and Die Hard and fucking disables the lobby or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. Could I say fuck more in that thing? That's what happens. That's my verbal placeholder. But yeah, dude, I've been running away from people's houses and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So, episode 1, year 7, and being interviewed for Earbuds, which was great and was weird at the same time because, look, you guys, again, you know who I am as a person. You know who I am as a guy. I've known Graham 20 fucking years. We've been friends. We've been enemies. That was a weird period. I gotta admit, it was because I've only had one enemy on live. It was Graham Elwood. He was my enemy for like 3 years. Like I would see him and I would sneer at him across the room and he would sneer at me and we avoided each other. But it was always jets and sharks. Like we'd kind of circle one another whenever we were in a gathering. Because I'll tell you what, Graham and I always wound up at gatherings. Oh my God. Why would I choose that word? The two of us are at gatherings in our monk's robes. We were out in the field with the Peter Fonda and Race with the Devil. Yeah, that's fucking weird. How weird is that? Because that's you know what? Dude, that ending of that movie. You ever see Race with the Devil? Spoiler alert. It's a movie where like Peter Fonda and 3 other people are being chased by a devil cult. Hence, whoa, holy God, the earbuds guy almost fell. Oh my God, that was beautiful. The earbuds guy is like trying to film this nonsense for no good reason at all. Literally the most hideous waste of tape in history. Like, just focus on Lily. Seriously, honestly, just look at her and watch her tits bounce and see her laugh at this. Because he was backing up, and this is the guy who looks like a tennis pro. I don't know where the fuck they got Agassi, but holy shit, this guy. But he's just got like a crazy, I mean, again, they hired all these young dudes. They raised all this money on Kickstarter, and then they went to a Home Depot and they found the 3 non-Mexicans that jump in the van. That was it. That's who these dudes are. So this poor dude is wandering around a stripper's kitchen with a Steadicam and in his head just going, I went to fucking film school. God damn it. I went to film school and I'm filming this asshole talking to a microphone for nothing. But I'll tell you what, you'll never forget the name Eva Kripe. Actually, the camera guy's carving Y into his arm with a fork right now. He's like, dude, I went to film school. Why carve? Stop at the W, rethink your life. So he just backed up. And I should tell you this again, we're in a stripper's kitchen. So it's essentially, we're broadcasting in a tube. You know what I mean? Because Lily was like adamant, you can't go in the fucking living room. You can't. Guess where Agassi is? Fucking kneeling in the living room right now. And it served him right because he almost tripped over the goddamn sandbag. You know what? He almost got sandbagged by a sandbag. How great is that? That was poetic justice. You should have fallen on your ass and broken the camera because then he could just go, dude, sandbagged by a sandbag, which, by the way, new name for the documentary. You got to lose podcasting. You got to lose the earbuds and just go sandbagged by a sandbag. How great is that? You know what? That sounds like a Mannix episode. Holy shit. Tonight's episode, sandbagged by a sandbag. Perfect. Mike Connors comes in, talks to the hot black girl. They go shoot pool. He drives a car. Oh, Christ, I love Mannix. All right, so now we're talking and fucking Agassi. Agassi got closer. He got closer to Lily. I don't blame him. So you guys are going to freak out. Like, well, you're not really, because I'll tell you what, they're not going to use any of this. I should tell you that. They're going to use literally none of this. And here's why. Because they came here with this draconian release that I had to fucking sign when they showed up. Because Graham and I, again, friends for 20 years. And then he let his friend Chris Mancini, who I've not known for as long as Graham, but I would say is a good friend as well. And then Graham is in charge of the interviews, which is great because I have a comfort level with Graham and I like talking to him. Not that I don't have a comfort level with Chris. I enjoy Chris. But Chris is more of a reserved person. I have a chemistry with Graham that is, I wouldn't say unheard of, but I mean, we've locked into each other pretty good. I mean, I have it with Pardo. I have it with Graham. The first time, I got to tell you this. Let's talk about Graham for just a second. The first time... I knew Chicago comics, but I didn't start in Chicago. I started in Los Angeles. So, and it was so funny. Then I moved when I finally had to move back to, this is so stupid too. This is totally true. I started in LA. Okay. Well, I started actually in Tahoe. I did a couple of shows in Tahoe and I started when I was 9. Actually, I did the Gong Show in high school. All right. So here's the thing. That's actually totally true. The first time I was ever on stage, I did a Gong Show in high school. I've told that story on here. And I stole jokes from a comic named David Wood, a guy in Minneapolis. Graham might know him. No? Oh, dude. I'll tell this. Oh, fuck it. I'll tell that story. All right. So, dude, I was in high school and they had a talent show. And I was being encouraged to do the talent show. And I've told the story on here about how when I auditioned for the high school play, and I fucking basically owned the room. Yeah, that's Lester Hayes with the garden sprinkler. Dude, that's a great episode. That is a great episode. Seek it out. Lester Hayes with the garden sprinkler. It's one of my favorite. And the artwork was fantastic, too, because it was fucking, we had the skull with the stickum. Oh, fucking Mex is a genius. By the way, David Hernandez was not available to be interviewed for the Earbuds documentary because he's a misanthrope who lives in his basement recording music for this show. I'm actually talking right to camera, by the way. Look, I'm still talking to you people. Stick around. Keep your earbuds in. By the way, earbuds is the name of a podcasting documentary if they don't get wise and change to fucking Sandbag by a Sandbag, which I absolutely should fucking do. Definitely. There's no doubt. Agassi laughed. I got Agassi to laugh. Yeah. You guys can get me at. We're done. I made fucking Agassi laugh. Perfect. So that Steadicam not so steady when you're fucking guffawing. All right. Guffaw seems strong. It's more of a chuckle. I want to make Agassi blurt laugh and see the camera like totally fucking shake. All right. So I actually grabbed the camera. I just grabbed the camera because I'm an idiot. All right. That was dumb. By the way, that's really expensive equipment. That is like, I flipped out a bear paw and just signed the shit out of your camera. Fucking Agassi's got a bloody nose now. What the fuck am I thinking? God, that's dumb. Oh, is that in the release? Is that in the release? The swiping at the camera? Is that, please don't touch anything? Is that in the release? I didn't see.
Have you signed it yet?
I don't know. I'm still reviewing it. I have my legal team checking it out. I had to call Larry Parker. And he got me $4 million. So here's the thing. What the fuck was I talking about?
Graham.
I was talking about Graham, but there was something about, oh, dude, fucking Gong Show. So I'm in high school, and I get told that I should be in this talent show. I swear to God I told this story, but if I didn't, enjoy it. But it wasn't a talent show. It was a gong show. Now, let me tell you something. When they put together a high school gong show, is there any act on earth that isn't going to get gonged? It's a high school talent show / gong show. They're going, when there's a regular talent show, oftentimes a senior will show up with his private gong and gong the acts himself. But if you actually encourage people to gong the acts, do you think they're not going to fucking gong them? So literally, I remember showing up, and what I did was I had some of my own jokes that I had written, of course, about Lucky Charms, which is something all high schoolers know about, which I could probably still do those jokes from fucking memory. And then I stole jokes from no, I'm not doing them. Nobody cares.
Damn it.
You know, Lucky the Leprechaun, he's always out there. I'm going to make a car and sail away, or a car and drive away. I'm going to make a boat and sail away. Why doesn't he make a fucking shillelagh and beat these kids to death? Why doesn't he do it? Just leave them in a puddle of blood and marshmallows and nobody will bother him again. Gong! So David Wood is a comedian out of Minneapolis who may or may not still be working or may not still be alive. No idea. But I saw him on Letterman, and because all I did was stay up at night and watch Letterman and consume Leno and comedy and fucking awesomeness. And so I saw David Wood, and in my head I was like, well, you know, he's vague enough that nobody's going to know who the fuck he is, and I don't know if anybody saw him. So I pinched a bit of his, which was James Bond has a license to kill. And he goes through the motions of the, you know, and then the cops pull him over, and he goes, Mr. Bond, can I see your license? The whole bit. And so I was like, well, I'll take that. So I ganked that, and then I had, like I said, my own jokes about cereal. And I strode out confidently onto the stage, and it wasn't bad. I got to say, probably the first 8 seconds was pretty good. And then I think I talked. The walk to the microphone, fantastic. The second I opened my mouth, boo, gong. It was so bad they didn't even gong me. They yelled gong. That's awful. They didn't even bite. You're not even good enough for the fucking sound of the Chinese cymbal. You're out. We yell gong. We can't be bothered to get up and clear the stage of you. We can't be bothered to do the fucking baseball swing. We just yell gong. So they all start yelling. And I, of course, then, because I have chops, of course, at 16, I try to salvage it with something, and then I make fun of somebody. And then they start booing me and yelling. And then I'm like, well, dude, if you're just going to boo, why don't you just start throwing stuff? I actually said that on stage. True story. Adrian Oglesby, student in my high school, took time out from yelling gong to throw a 7-Up can that hit me in the head. Empty soda can. Bonks me in the skull. Which you would think then would engender some sort of sympathy and everybody go, oh shit, we just hit our friend with a soda can. No, if anything, it stirred the bloodlust in the room and they all went gong. Actually, I think I should get some credit because it was a pretty good act to get hit in the head with a soda can and not murder everybody in the fucking building. So the teachers who were in charge of the gong, for sympathy, essentially just got up and just gonged me. And I walked off fucking furious, steaming, so angry. Show ends. For some reason, I'm still in the building. No idea why I didn't go home. How am I not home carving Y into my arm with a fork at that point? But instead, I decided to hang out. And afterwards, everybody's talking. And in the lobby afterwards, one Adrian Oglesby comes up to me and goes, "Oh, Mike." I go, "Hey." And he puts out his hand and he shakes my hand and he goes, "I thought you were funny." And that is stand-up comedy.
I've never seen the beginning of Big Trouble in Little China.
I hope my enemies catch on fire.
I once watched Jaws in the nude.
I love.
I liked it when the Beatles got along.
I love bananas, yogurt, and ass.
I need to learn the rules of rugby.
I love doing preacher curls.
People enjoy my many-colored hats.
I wonder if I left the stove on.
I once punched my kid in the face.
I love the word vanilla.
I can play the guitar with my kidneys.
I like the girl who wants to have sex in a swamp. I love. Hi, we're back. This is live now. This is all live. This is me again talking. We took a break there, and you may have heard some of the outtakes from Vascular and Yoked, which is a song from last week's interlude. I don't know if you guys know about the interlude. Have you heard about the interlude? It came out last week. But I will tell you, we are now in an empty kitchen. We are in an empty stripper's kitchen, just myself and the beautiful Lily, the people who bring you the show every week. The Earbuds crew is packed up and left. Once I grabbed the camera, that was pretty much the end of the shoot. Yeah, no, it was. Once I started talking about the release form, Graham's like, "Well, we got to get out of here before you start pissing me off." And I said, "Okay." Because Graham and I had a disagreement of some sort because of stuff. And but then it turned out to be okay. I hope it doesn't bleed into the earbuds, although maybe that's why you watch. Maybe you watch to see the creative tension between two guys who've been friends for 20 years. One of them who's got a very successful project, and the other one who's just kind of a dumb fuck who got involved in that project somehow, stumbled into it.
So mean to talk about Graham that
Stop
way.
your nonsense. But I can't thank those guys enough. They were so cool to come out. And I will tell you this again. Graham came to interview me, which is, I really liked that. I mean, I like Chris, but I know Graham. And Chris and I are good friends, but I know Graham, and we have chemistry. So I was happy to talk to him.
Yeah, you did.
Well, he was pissed at me, and I was pissed at him. We were just mad. You guys, you know me, all right? No, I was miffed. Maybe not pissed. I was miffed, which is the clean version of pissed, pretty much.
I think annoyed.
Do you think he'll keep that segment in where he just basically told me what's wrong with me?
I don't know.
know.
Maybe it'll be in the DVD outtakes.
That would be awesome if it was. I honestly wish he would send me that clip. I would put it in this fucking show. I'll ask him if they taped it. And if he can give me the audio of that, I would actually run that. I don't know if he'd want that peek behind the fucking curtain, but I mean, here's what happened, folks. We've been, they were trying to schedule this with me, and these guys are filming everybody everywhere. They've already been walking the room, and they've done the stuff with Jimmy, and they've done stuff all over the place. And it's just, it's so hard for them to schedule shoots. They're trying to get this squared away where they can show up. And remind me, I want to talk about the interlude. We got to talk about that because I don't want to get off track from it. Because you just heard the outtake from Vascular and Yoked, and there's a story behind that I have to tell you. But yeah, so Graham and Chris are shooting, and they're doing their best they can to schedule everybody and get it all to work. Well, they contacted me. They were going to shoot me a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago. They mentioned it, and it just kind of snuck up on us where it was like, Lily and I don't think we could do it. And then I said, that seems really close for me because I get my schedule a month in advance from Barbecue House. You know what I mean? So I can cover shifts, but I wind up covering a lot of shifts like when Jill comes to town, if that happens, I'm like, fuck, I got to cover this and move this around because, the last fucking thing I want my girlfriend to do is come out here and sit in my house while I go out and run fucking ribs to people. And I've offered her, I said, you can ride shotgun with me on that. And it's so funny. It seems like such a romantic notion at first. She's like, yeah, that one might be fun. And then I go, yeah, 5 hours in the car running around and delivering fucking sodas to people. And she just goes, I'm going to stay home probably if I do that. And I go, well, then I'm going to cover the fucking shift. And I don't blame her because who the fuck, dude, I don't want to do it and they're paying me. The last thing she wants to do is ride shotgun. But I will tell you this though, because she is the fucking best person in the world. She would do it without complaint. She would do it to be in the car with me. And it is perfect. All right. She's perfect. So, but now I get to deliver food with them in the car. So anyway, I couldn't move the shift around. So then they scheduled it at the end of the month, and it was going to be a Tuesday and Wednesday shoot. Originally, they said, "Dude, we need you for Tuesday and Wednesday." And here's the thing. And look, I should tell you, I have no idea if any of this is going to air. I don't know if I will be in the Earbuds podcast documentary because they want me to be, and they're very nice because they said to me, "We would like you to be a larger segment of this particular movie because we want to follow you at work." And I'm assuming the angle I want to go for is this guy works a day job, but then he also has a rabid fan base who listens to his podcast, and it kind of gets across the message that really anyone can do this. You can start from nothing and make it something. And whether you're struggling with a job or you're rich or you're famous, whatever, anybody can do this and make it work. The problem with that premise is, your good friend Mike, he doesn't want to just be anybody. So I don't want to be the anybody example in the movie where they're like, oh my God, there's all these famous guys. And then look at this idiot. You know what I mean? And look, I trust my friends completely, implicitly. And I'm proud and honored that they would ask me to be involved in the documentary. But at the same time, I kind of micromanage who I am. I mean, there's certain things that I want to make sure to get across. Like they're planning on interviewing some of my fans. And that to me is extremely important. I mean, that is essential if you're going to show who I am as a person and as a performer, because otherwise, I even sent this in emails to them. I said, look, I'll do this thing where you want to interview me at work, but you gotta make sure you portray me as who I am. I mean, I'm not some barbecue salesman who got lucky. I mean, I'm a broadcaster for 20 years and a stand-up, and somehow I've also had to do this because I need that right now to stay alive. And the thing is, they never thought otherwise. It's not like they were going to go, oh, we can't wait to show this sauce jockey. You know what I mean? That wasn't something they thought of in this sauce-based economy of ours. But but clearly they were getting tired of me saying it over and over because I kept reiterating it, and I go, because then they were like, we're going to talk to some of your fans, we need some information, and I'm like, cool, I have some people that you can talk to. And then when they started to schedule the shoot, they're supposed to do it a couple of weeks ago, then they asked for a 2-day shoot at the end of the month, and then Chris wrote me, and he's like, hey, you know what, we don't need 2 days, we'll just film you on Wednesday. And I was like, that's fine. I mean, I had already taken the 2 days off of work, but whatever works, it's cool. And I was going to make myself available to them, whatever happened. And in the email, I even said, I go, look, I'll film at work, but please don't make it like I'm this barbecue salesman shouting into a void. You're going to interview my fans, and that's cool. And then he's like, well, yeah, if we have time, we'll definitely get to your fans on Wednesday. And I went, dude, no, it's essential that you talk to people because otherwise, again, like I said, I'm just some fucking meathead who talks. I mean, you have to find out why I've translated in such a way. There's a way, and I go, I have some really eloquent fans who've had some great things to say, so I would love for you to speak with them, and that's perfect. And then he wrote me back, and he's like, yes, Mike, that's fine. You can almost read it. And again, look, I read every email fucking poorly anyway. I think an ellipses means you fuck. But they, they were just kind of, they essentially had to be Lily in emails where they had to coddle me and hold my hand and get through it. And I'm getting better at this. I really am. I mean, I'm trying to be better at this and not self-identify as less than. I want to be, what I want to be. And you know what? I should just fucking be me. That's all I need to care about, right? Shouldn't I just be me? I shouldn't be worried about the perceptions that I have or that people have of me. And, oh my God, he's just a barbecue salesman. Who the fuck cares? Even if you thought I was just a barbecue salesman, I got 6 fucking years of audio that proves to you that I'm not just a fucking barbecue salesman. I'm also a nighttime security guard in an apartment building. All right? Multifaceted. I threw a handful of pens at a fucking workman once, God damn it. I invented the key fist. I once chased a guy out of a garage, not realizing I'd left my office unlocked with my car keys, my wallet, and my laptop in it. I'm a great security guard, damn it. I almost killed an old woman with a newspaper. So slow down, ye who would pigeonhole me as just a barbecue salesman. So I was worried, and I could see in their emails, they were getting gradually more and more short with me, where they were just like, dude, we get it. All right, we fucking get it. And they didn't write that, but in my head, that's how I read it. So then it's, they have to talk to the people at my work to get a release, to show me at work. So I gave them the number of the guy they had to talk to, and then I put it in their hands, like, because I can't book it. They've got to square it away, and then I never heard a fucking thing. Like, they never wrote me to go, okay, everything's square, and here's when we're shooting, or we're going here. And then, I even talked to the guy I work with, the manager guy, and he's just like, hey, I'm playing phone tag with those guys. And this was as late as last week. So Sunday, I finally sat down and wrote an email, and I'm like, and I CC'd Lily at it, and I'm like, hey, and you could tell me if the tone was bad. I don't think the tone was that bad. I was just asking a question of like, are we doing this week? Because I really haven't heard anything. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I know we were supposed to do it at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, but I haven't heard anything short of that. And I also have been being told that you're playing phone tag with my work. So I'm trying to find out what's happening. And it was probably more harsh than that. It was written, in a way where I came off as confused, and I probably again also said, by the way, I'm not just a barbecue salesman. I think that's my new sign off on my emails and my fucking texts. Not just a barbecue salesman. That's what it says under my name. Mike Schmidt, not just a barbecue salesman. So then Chris was like, no, man, we're good for 9 a.m. and everything's going to be great, and that's fine. And he goes, yes. And by the way, let me assure you, the stuff at your work is going to be B-roll. It's just more interesting to film you doing that. And we would like to get you in the car, and we'd like to talk to you while you're driving. You can do all that. It's just a way to add to who you are and enhance what you're doing, because everybody else is sitting on a couch. And I get that. I completely get that. I am at ease with them filming me, because I am trying to become at ease with myself and who I am as a guy. And I'm fucking happy, and things are moving forward. And I'm not just that. I'm that, because you know what? I got to go back to who I was in Tahoe when we were homeless. When I was in Tahoe, I was homeless for 5 days. I lived in a fucking casino. Like, I slept in the casino and would wake up, and we would steal tips off of tables to eat. And we had to hook up with a guy in the buffet, and he would fucking feed us once a fucking day. That's what we did. That's how I lived my life. I told that story. I had to live in a fucking hotel, and we were buying one bag of chips and stealing a jar of salsa. That's what we split between us every day. And by the way, me and a guy, it was a dude. It wasn't like me and my wife were doing that. Fuck, that's fucking terrible at the time, because she wasn't my wife. I didn't even meet her. I didn't even know her. My ex-wife. I got to make sure I clarify that. Because I didn't this week. I did Paul Goebel's podcast, and I said my wife. And it's just this thing where it's a shorthand that I say, and I just have to get used to saying my ex-wife. But it's so that, you know why I don't do that sometimes, I think? Not consciously. It's not like I go, well, I don't want to say ex-wife. I think my brain won't let me say it because I'm not fucking Carl Reiner. I mean, it's just the fucking weirdest thing where ex-wife sounds like a punchline from a 1960s show, doesn't it? Yeah, me and my ex-wife, and I got to light a cigar, and then I got to punch a fucking clown. I mean, it's like, dude, fuck that. Because I think, you know what? I think every time I say ex-wife, someone's going to walk in with a powder puff and go, makeup, and hit me in the face, and powder will fly everywhere. So it's just a thing where after 20 years of saying my wife, I slip up sometimes. And I guess on Paul Goebel's show, I said my wife. And get this, now, folks, I'm being sued by Borat. My wife. You know what's funny? Paul F. Tompkins posted a thing on Facebook yesterday, and I didn't even get the joke, but it was a text to his wife. And he said to Siri, text my wife. And in the balloon, she wrote, text my wife. And so he goes, and he posted the screenshot of it, and he just goes, no, thanks, I'll just get into an accident, which was really funny. Now that I say it out loud, I get the joke. I didn't at the time. But literally, when I saw it in my head, I just went, my wife, I'm not kidding. And then the comments on Facebook, and I felt like such an asshole because I felt typical, and I don't ever want to be typical. But literally, everybody's just like, my wife. They all wrote it. And you're like, my wife. Oh, my God. It's just like, that's just part of the fucking lexicon. It's just there. But that's where my mind went. And then, of course, everybody else's mind went there. So, what were I saying?
Filming at the barbecue place.
Dude, so they're going to drive around with me. Well, no, I was talking about how did I get into homeless at a casino? Like, why did we go to Tahoe? What did we do? I was talking about something. They're gone, by the way. Did I mention that?
No.
Yeah, the earbuds guys are gone. They bailed. That's why we took a break. But there was something that...
the schedule for today. That's what it was all about, was getting to the emails back and forth and
right.
the schedule.
And then they were scheduling me, but how did I get to being homeless in fucking Tahoe? I don't even know. Fuck, weird. So they uh, so they had to make the schedule for me, and but I never got a schedule. Like I said, he just assured me that it was going to be B-roll and they were going to follow me and everything was going to be fine. And I'm like, okay, well that's cool. But I never got like a sheet that said, all right, we will be at Lily's at 9 and we'll film you there, and then we're going to film, because I just thought they were filming me at a different date at the barbecue house. So Graham calls me yesterday. And he's like, hey, I'm seeing these emails, and it's like, you seem like you don't want to film at your work. And I'm like, no, man, I'm good with that. I'm clear. It's just, I don't know when we are. And he goes, we're doing it tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, what is the plan? And he goes, well, we're going to come there in the morning. We're going to interview you guys, and then we're going to film you doing some of the show, and then we'll take a break, and we'll go over to Venice, and we'll film you there. And look, I don't want to do that ever in a billion years. That means that I've got to, I got to leave Hollywood, go all the way to Venice, and then deliver food while they film me, you know what I mean? And then knock off work early to come back and do the rest of the podcast, or even work my full shift and then come over here. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So I said to Graham, I go, well, I didn't know we were filming tomorrow at both places. I thought we were just doing the interviews and then the show, because I have to do, he goes, well, are you recording a whole podcast tomorrow? I go, yeah, I record on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays. I record on Wednesdays. And he's just like, because we were talking on Tuesday, and he goes, I go, yeah, I record Wednesdays. And he goes, oh. He goes, well, then can you just do like 15 minutes of the show and then come with us? And I'm just like, I don't want to do that, but I also don't want to tell them no. How do you tell filmmakers no? Even though they're my friends, I have to respect the process and respect who they are as guys. But at the same time, I wish they would have given me a detailed shot sheet so I knew what to expect, especially the day before, because again, I had other things happening. So, it sounds stupid to say I have other things happening.
Well, no, again, as I said to Graham, because frankly, I was the bad guy here. Because I said to Graham, I read that too, and I assumed you were going to break for lunch while we finished the podcast and then head to Mike's work.
Yeah.
I rearranged my schedule to record early in the morning.
Well, we just never got official word that what we were doing.
No, I never got a shot sheet either.
Yeah.
And again...
But that's because it's a documentary and it's on the fly, and I totally get that.
But it's not.
It is.
And I'm not going to be a dick about them, but it's like, if you're going to say, we're going to make a film, then you make a film and you send out that information. Well,
I will say that I don't agree with you on that. I think there should be some element of we're in play. It's just I would have preferred like a line by line saying you're here, we're here, then this is happening.
But
that's all.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
And again, they sent an outline of what they wanted. They didn't send
a schedule.
A schedule.
Yeah, which is fine. And again, so basically the point is I'm going to finish the show here, and then I'm going to Venice to work, and they're going to film me while I'm working. I was able to arrange it with work where I could come in at a certain time, and it's going to be fine. But in the conversation with Graham, I was trying to explain to him that I didn't get it, and he was like, dude, I read these emails and they're pretty clear. And that's not what I wanted to hear at all. So I'm just like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I read them all. And he goes, it seems really clear about what we wanted. And I was like, well, I know what you wanted, but it doesn't say when.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, but it seems like you don't even want to do it now. And I'm like, no, that's a straw man, because honestly, you didn't tell me. I mean, I'm good. I said, Chris's last email covers everything and I'm fine. I go, I want to give you guys what you want, and I want to make it happen. I want to make it work. Because again, look, they've made movies. All right. I'm just a fucking idiot. I show up and I talk at a stripper's kitchen, and that's fine. So I should defer to them and whatever their schedule should be. And that's cool. I will let it happen. But it's just that I didn't know what was going on. And I have, my lovely girlfriend's in town. And so I didn't know how much of the day I was going to lose today. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, because she who cares? Because she was like, yeah, I didn't tell anybody where I was going. I was even leaving town. She goes, I didn't. I just left. And I'm like, cool. That's awesome. But none of her friends listen to this, so they're not going to know where she is anyway, right? Although she's posting pictures of palm trees on fucking Facebook, so probably people are going to know where she is, unless she went somewhere else with palm trees. No, they're only at my house.
Everybody should post on there, Jill, where are you?
That was, what's funny though? Some people are happening that.
Even listeners.
Oh yeah, guys, if you see a picture of like just palm trees, just go, where are you? Oh my God, it looks fun. It looks amazing. But don't say where she is. Nobody say where she is.
It's a game of Where's Waldo?
Yeah, I love it. Oh, she looks good in stripes. She looks so hot in stripes. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, we played that game quite a bit. So we're the whole, hey, let's do that, let's do this, and we got to talk about next week, don't we?
Well, we
got to talk about a lot of stuff. You and I off the air have to talk about next week.
What is next week?
I'm gone next week.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know you're gone next week.
I'm actually, it's going to be interesting and fun.
No, it's not.
No, because I'm going to. I'm telling you, it's in your calendar. I guarantee you, it is. You're looking up your calendar, which means the show grinds to a halt because you're not paying attention. No, you're shaking your
I
head.
got nothing that says we're not recording on the 7th.
Oh,
No,
well,
I got nothing.
well, can I call you from Wisconsin?
No.
We'll talk about all of that later. Nobody wants to hear our scheduling problems.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I thought because I mean you and I covered already yours, which is a ridiculous
I was planning
thing.
on June right now.
Well, okay, I'm going to be gone one Wednesday in May. You're gone for June.
Yes, but I let you know about it in April.
Year 7
Not
is
a
going to
week
be
in advance.
Year 7 is going to be very interesting, folks. I don't know. My head may just scanners explode at some fucking point. Because it really looks like I'm going to have to doing like 4 shows in 5 days at some point. I mean, it's pretty crazy. The schedule's really hectic. It's hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. So the earbuds guys they're gone now. So anyway, so Graham sat down to interview me, and as we were talking, I don't even know the context in which it came up, but he brought up the shoot. And I don't know if I said a fucking sarcastic aside or he did. One of us got the needle out a little bit.
I'm going to say it was you.
Maybe. And then he just kind of did that thing where he goes, yeah, that's what happened. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to lie in front of the crew just because you're the boss or whatever. And then he let me have it pretty good. But in a constructive, healthy way. Like he wasn't saying mean things to me. You know what? He asked me a question. I don't want to give stuff away. He asked me something and I answered it the way I would answer it. And then there was a beat and then I said something to him about the emails and then he said something back and then I said something back. And then I said, he goes, oh, this is uncomfortable. And he looked around and he goes, 20 years, guys. This is what 2 guys talking for 20 years can do. And then all right, I'll just tell you, the question he asked me was, do you think you will ever stop self-sabotaging? And then I answered it the way I was going to answer it. And then we talked a little bit. And then the emails thing came up and he busted my balls and I busted his balls and then he busted my balls again. And he goes, all right, let's get back to this. And I go, well, I'm going to ask you some questions now. And then I said, I said, do you feel I will ever stop self-sabotaging? And then I think he just finished talking 5 seconds ago. I think he let me have it pretty good with a combination scolding pep talk is the best way I would put it. And you know what? If Agassi would have done that, I would have punched him in the fucking head. But it was Graham, who I love and respect, and is quite frankly one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. And I think wasn't I talking about that earlier? About that's you know what? When I got into my Gong show, Graham Elwood is fucking force of nature funny. It's ridiculous off stage and on. But dude, the first time I ever saw him, I have to tell, I was at the Funny Bone. And I knew of him because I started to tell the story in the first half of the show when they were here. Graham is a guy who, like I said, I started in California. Oh, let's talk about that because I started in Los Angeles. I wish they were here. I wanted Graham to hear this because they're gone already. Have I mentioned that they're gone? Agassi's gone. He's gone. He's in his car right now, wondering what the fuck he's done with his life. So I started here, and then I had to move back to Chicago. Things happened. Somebody set fire to some stuff, and I had to go ahead and leave town. So I went back to Chicago, and when I came back, I literally, in my head, I felt I was better than Chicago comedians because I had started in Los Angeles. It was the dumbest fucking thing in the world. And I've told this story before. I was at Sinise's Winery, and in my head, I was just like, well, I wouldn't even watch the comedians. I was like, whatever, these guys are awful. I didn't want to go and fucking see this. And then Lenny looked at me and he goes, hey, Mike Toomey's going up. And I said, yeah, so? And he goes, well, he's probably the best comedian in Chicago. You should watch him. And I was like, best comedian in Chicago. Whatever. I'm from Los Angeles. Even though I wasn't. I was from Chicago. I had just started in Los Angeles for a year. Who fucking cares? But I walk in and I'm watching Mike Toomey. And I just sat there and I went, oh, this is what comedy is. This is what fucking stand-up is supposed to be. It was, fucking amazing. And I've had that revelatory experience a few times. I had it when I saw Pardo. I had it when I saw Leno live. You just see guys and you just go, oh, Jesus Christ, these guys are playing on a level that few have ever seen. Oh, man. I just intense to watch, especially when it's the thing you want to do. Like, imagine if you were an architect and you're like, dude, I can't wait to design some serious buildings. And then you walk in and you're like, I'm the shit. And you see some guy designing space buildings that George Jetson himself would be jealous of and want to live in, but unfortunately he couldn't because he's off living with fucking Jane and whoever the fuck else in his shitty space building. You know what? You as an architect, you designed the Jetson space building and you were like, yes, absolutely, that's great. And then you saw an amazing space building and you realized that you were just a cog in the machine. You know what? You were a cog in Cogswell's Cogs. Not Spacely Sprockets. Cogswell's Cogs. My brain had to do that on purpose, right? It had to throw cog in there because of the Jetsons. Like, I had to associate the two. Good Lord. All right. Where are we going with that? I don't even know. Dudes, fucking, I heard Graham's name, but I don't see him. He's already gone at that point. Because when I got to town was, the second time I got to town to start stand-up and stuff was like in I think, 94. And that's when those guys were all leaving for L.A. You know, I saw Pardo and he bailed and Pat and those guys. Well, Graham I had heard of, but I'd never seen. And then he comes to work at the Funny Bone. And I sat in the back roaring with laughter. Like fucking Max Cady with a cigar roaring with laughter. Just like, I mean, it was insane. Because he was so goddamn funny. And I couldn't process it. Like, it was that thing where you're just like, this guy's just me. Why is he so much better at this than I am? He had a freedom on stage that I had rarely seen. You know, Jimmy has that too. But Graham, when I saw him, he just, and then, you know, you meet him off stage and he's incredibly nice and also really funny and just a force of nature. But dude, seeing him on stage, it was, like I said, he was free. And this is back in fucking 2000, you know what I mean? Or something like, no, I lived here in 97. Holy shit, this is in 97. Yeah, this is 96, 97 is when I saw Graham at the Funny Bone. And even then, he was so free on stage and willing to do whatever. He did and then he's just become a much more intense version of that. You know, he's at the UCB and he has this fucking character. Dude, he went up to a dude once at the UCB and there was, like, the room was packed and he just fucking, like, is prowling the stage. And there was a dude with a book and Graham took the book away from him and threw it on the ground. And he goes, "Defend your book, nerd!" It was the dumbest, because again, it's the dumbest thing of all time, but it's so goddamn funny. It's just, Graham specializes to me in making the dumbest stuff funny, and I watch him do it, and it's just so great. Dude, when he was on Never Not Funny, and he calls, because we all call Jimmy Pardo Shooter. We used to call Jimmy Pardo Shooter. Well, he calls him Gun. So he'll see him, and he'll go, "Hey, Gun. Gun, 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 gun." And it's just dumb. It's just stupid, but it is the funniest fucking thing in the world. So when he takes time out of his busy schedule to tell me what a fuck up I am, I'm going to listen. That wasn't the case. He didn't really do that. But he was very he was very pointed in his comments because they all ended with "You are great." Like, it was that thing where he's just punching you in the face and then he's like, "But you're also pretty cool." Just wailing on you. "But you're also great. You can rebound from this." "I can't if you keep knocking my teeth out." I'm joking. Please know that I'm kidding. It was awesome. We were great. And we had a good time filming for Earbuds. But when you watch it, you know what? I got to be honest with you. Graham wasn't even here. They had one of the interns interview me with a Graham mask on. He just sat across from me. I like Graham Mask. That is my favorite cracker-based superhero. Certainly better than Saltine Hulk. All right, so what if the Hulk was made of saltines? Then he would have to say Hulk smashed, because he would be crushed immediately in a fight. Look, if the Hulk is made entirely of saltine crackers, hear me out. If the Hulk is made entirely of saltine crackers and he winds up in a fight with the Abomination, who is made of, quite frankly, an abomination. I don't know the ingredients of an abomination, but I know that it stands upright and it destroys cities. That's all I can tell you. And then the Hulk shows up and he challenges the Abomination to a fight. He's going to get abominated, right? He's just going to get a fucking abominated. Which, by the way, is what happened to the Republicans in the last two elections. So, yes, that's right. We go political on this show. I'm not afraid to tackle the tough topics. Because if you're made of saltine crackers, you don't stand up well in a fight. The Abomination doesn't even need to fight you. He can douse you with milk. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, why not water? Because you know why? Because saltine crackers and milk are delicious. If the Hulk was made of saltine crackers, I would cover him in milk and eat him. I would. I just would. Well, you know what? That's wrong. You actually heard me scratch my chin as I pondered that. I was like,
I watched that.
you did, because I did. I literally pondered it. I went, no, that's wrong. I scratch my chin and I think about it. If the Hulk were made of saltine crackers, because I like an ice cold milk. I like an icy cold milk. And if you pour it on the Hulk, then it's just a pool of like disgusting crackers and not cold milk anymore, right? You have to beat the Hulk in a fight, and then you have to pick up shards of him and dump them in ice cold milk and eat it. Or just pop a shard of the Hulk in your mouth and then use ice cold milk to mix it up and make a mix 'em up in your mouth. Oh my God, I love a mix 'em up. You know I love mash 'em ups in music. You know, when I was a kid, oh dude, I gotta tell you this. This was so cute. I have to, and the only word I can use is cute. My mom, when she was in the hospital, I was there visiting, and they kept bringing her lunch and food. And as she was gradually becoming herself, she was becoming more of herself. So did I mention that the first time they brought her food, like my mom just, when she became herself and knew who I was the first day, she was still out of it though. She was still on medication, but she insisted on doing shit for herself. They talk about her eating. So her lunch comes, and she's got, and they give her like a knife, which is the stupidest thing in the world. This woman's on painkillers and heavy medication. Why the fuck would you ever give them a blade? But she's trying to cut this like chicken breast. And I did talk about this, how it looked like she was eating ghosts. I said my mom was Pac-Man. Yeah. So she was eating ice cream, and she would like kind of like wave, like she had the spoon was kind of wavering. She's using her mouth to try to catch it. It looked like a weird game of like, you ever like ball in a cup? Look, it's ball in a cup, and they try to get the ball in a cup. That's what my mom was doing with ice cream, trying to put it in her mouth. So then a couple days go by, and then she's eating ice cream with confidence. But the first day she's eating ice cream right out of the tin or whatever the fuck it's in. And my mom is not in a 1920s hospital. Hold on a second. Yes, my mom, they put her in a sawhorse splint, and they gave her a tincture of quinine. That's what my mom had to do to cure cancer. Well, they finally pulled the leeches off of her, and they gave her some ice cream. Anyway, so she's eating the ice cream like the first day. She's just scooping it out and eating it. But that's not my mom, because here's what my mom does. 4 days later or 3 days later, she gets ice cream. And Dan's like, well, here, why don't you have some ice cream? And he goes to like kind of help her and feed it to her. And she goes, no, Dan, give him the spoon. He's like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And she takes her ice cream. And I mean, 40 years changes nothing. My mom takes her ice cream, and she puts the spoon in it, and she just starts stirring it. She's stirring it and stirring it and stirring it and stirring it. And I immediately was like 8 years old. I'm watching her do it, because that's how she taught us to eat ice cream when we were kids. And she called it a mishmash. And she's like, because we would get ice cream, make a bowl of ice cream. She's like, oh, you guys, you have to make a mishmash. And we'd be like, what? And she'd like put chocolate syrup and like, pineapple or whatever, cherries, and make a sundae. And then she would just put her spoon in and stir it and stir it and stir it until it was just like a slurry, like a bowl of, it was almost like soft serve. It went from being real ice cream with stuff on it to just being a bowl of awesome ingredients all mixed up. But the best part is like she did it in the hospital with no ingredients. It was just the vanilla ice cream. But then I realized she likes the consistency of a mishmash. And so I guess what I'm trying to tell you is my mom was caught in a mishmash. And then she cried for the Indians. I probably shouldn't be doing anthrax jokes about a woman who was in the hospital. That's enough to get every hospital in the area on alert. Did you say your mom was on anthrax? I said, no, she listened to anthrax because she was caught in a mishmash. But I can tell you, growing up, my mom, certainly, if you would ask her, she would say, I am the law. All right. Should I stop this anthrax run?
No.
Not. No. Yeah, that's right. Not. All right. And actually, since we're talking about anthrax and saltines and the saltine Hulk, why don't we bring in an ode to Billy? He's Billy Milano. He's a bold, courageous man. He is. He is. Yes, he is. And you know what Billy wants? He wants some milk. His coffee grows cold. He wants some milk. He should have been told. All right. Literally, that whole thing was for Scott Phillips. Nobody else knows what the fuck I just did. Scott Phillips knows. As he drives around in a 1911 Datsun. 1911? I may have predated cars. I may have predated Japan. I don't think there was a Japan in 1911, was there?
Yes.
There was just Occidental Europe. I'm great! I'm awesome! Oh, man, that's terrible.
Oh, my God.
All right. So, Occidental Europe. We have to call it that from now on, right? Don't we have to call it Japan? Listen to me. If you love me, if you care about me in any way, and you care, everybody cares. We've got to call Japan Occidental Europe from now on, right? All right. God damn, that made me laugh. So much so that I hit the plug and now I'm getting static in my. Oh, I'm getting a text. That's weird. Why are you texting me during the show? Who texts me during the show? Oh, that's who texts me during the show. All right. Yeah, I'll let you guess who this is from. I love you. Shh. Get back to work. Graham Elwood. So they left. Earbuds left. They're waiting for me to go to work so they can film me at work. And meanwhile, my girlfriend is at home posting pictures of palm trees. She came here yesterday. See, here's the thing. I'm going to fly to her a lot. She's going to fly to me a lot. And we're always trying to make schedules to where we can see each other because that's all I want to do. Seriously, that's all I want to do is see her. So this time she was flying out here, and she's not a flyer, so to speak. She's flown, but she usually shows up and hooks up a brandy IV and then wakes up wherever she's supposed to be going. I mean, like, she is just that person. She has no interest in the sky or clouds or look out the window. She's just like, no, hide me in the overhead compartment because I don't want to know what the fuck is happening. So when we booked her for this flight, but I will tell you this though, she's become much better at it because she kind of has to because she's flying out here and she's flying so much to come see me. And also she's traveling alone, and I hate that more than anything because I think look, dude, I have a protection thing. Like I don't ever want anything. I don't want any ill to befall her in any way. Like I want to constantly be with Jill and just, if I could, I would just throw rose petals in front of her and she could walk on those, and then I would lay over every puddle and just throw a jacket over it. Like I don't even want her to get a cold. Like it's like that. And again, this is unhealthy. I recognize that. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know why I feel that way, but I want to protect her always. I want to put her in a snow globe so nobody can ever talk to her but me. That's what I want. I want a Jill in a bottle. That's it. I just want to build a Jill in a bottle and leave her right in there and put her on my mantle forever. I obsess. So she's flying a lot and she's becoming a better flyer, but she's still weird about it. So, we book the flights together and then I'll maybe check her in if she gets the email and stuff like that. I help her because she also works a ton. So it's like she can't get to an email to check her. And but she's so cute. She'll get the email where it's like, you have to check in. Like, oh no, you can check in for your flight. She thinks she needs to check in that moment or the plane's going to leave without her. And so she'll text me. She's like, "Oh my God, can you check me in? I just got the message." And I'm like, "It's okay, But she's learning as we go along. So we booked this flight, and I will tell you this: I've tried to make sure she's always on nonstop flights. Do you know how fucking hard that is from Milwaukee? So it just always turns into kind of like a hop, skip, and a jump, and she just wants to hop. And I don't fucking blame her because that's what I want too. I don't ever want her again. I want to protect her. I mean, have you been in airports? So then she's in between. Even an hour of downtime gives somebody a chance to breach the snow globe, and I don't want that happening. So I tried to book her. So this flight, it turned out she had to have a layover. So I tried to find the least layover that I possibly could. So her layover was in Dallas, and it was only like, I think, 55 minutes. So she texts me yesterday, and she's on the way to the airport, and she's like, "Honey, I'm not getting out of here. There's so much fog in Milwaukee." And I go, "Fog schmog." I think I actually texted that, "Fog schmog." And I didn't mean to. It was a typo. But I felt terrible about it. But still, I got my point across. It's my fat thumbs. Fog. So I said, "Look," and I should read you the texts because I was captain positive. I mean, that's all I was. I go, "Dude," "there's fog in the ground, but there's none in the sky." I go, "All they got to do is get through the fog that's on the ground, and boom, you're in the sky. You're on your way to Dallas, and everything's great." And because I'm trying to assuage her feelings because she's like, "It's not going to happen." I'm so freaked out. And then when we checked her in, she was in a small plane from Milwaukee to Dallas. It was a 3-seater across. You know what I mean? And like I think a DC-1. I have no idea what it was. By the way, if you own Superman DC-1, you own a lot of money. No, it's Action Comics, right? Superman. It's Action Comics. Was it DC then?
I have no idea. No, it was Action first, wasn't it?
But I don't know if it was Action Comics from DC.
No.
Don't look it up. It's not that important. She literally shifted in her chair to look it up. And believe me, people have tuned it out already. Everybody bailed on the Anthrax bit.
There's a nerd shouting right now.
Is there really?
Yeah. And I say nerd with love.
Yeah, you guys are great. So I say that's a broad blanket for all nerds who are, of course, listening, because that's my. I have my. You know, I have nerds and Scott Phillips as he tools around town in his Occidental Europe mobile. So, are you okay? Just spit Pepsi? Relax. Okay. Sorry. So she texts me, and I'm just being positive because, again, I don't want to scare her as she goes to the airport and go, oh my God, fog. You know what I mean? And she's worried about that small plane, and she's like, oh, I'm just going to drink. So then on Facebook, she posts that, like, she said she had a triple brandy and diet. As she goes, fog in a small plane makes me order a triple brandy and diet. And I just laughed. I'm like, oh. So we're texting back and forth, and she's like, honey, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And I'm trying to calm her down because I go, look, I've flown in blizzards. Like, I've been on the tarmac in Portland once, and it was like the trees were almost sideways, and all of us are like, we're not fucking going, and they fucking went. So it's just a matter of getting off the ground. I said, dude, once you're out of Milwaukee, which is basically just fucking beer jail, once you're out of there, you're fucking in the air, and you're all the way here. I go, because the weather, the weather's perfect in Dallas, the weather's perfect here, all the tornadoes are in Arkansas. I didn't mention the tornadoes in Arkansas because I didn't want her to worry about that. As she takes off in the small plane and looks out the window and sees a fucking teacher with a bike and a dog and a basket. By the way, I just called her a teacher. Wasn't she a neighbor? Or was she also a teacher?
She was a teacher.
School marm of some sort?
Yeah, she was a teacher.
Dressed in her gingham, eating her hardtack and her whorehound candy. I don't think she ate hardtack. Now that I think about it, that was eaten at sea. I don't think that teacher took that dog and went to sea. I don't think that happened. Because that would actually be the Wizard of Oz with a period at the end, the Wizard of Ounces, because then he would have to be measuring the water in decaliters, because they had the metric system during the Wizard of Oz. Because I'll tell you what, that tornado had to be 400 meters tall. But she couldn't have eaten hardtack, right? Because hardtack was eaten at sea. Do you know what hardtack is? I'm asking you, Lily. I'm not asking I didn't ask the listener.
Some sort of sweet or candy
No.
or thing of some sort.
No, it is a dense cracker. It is a really thick, dense kind of a bread that pirates would take out with them as they sailed the open seas because it lasted through the journeys. It was super hardy, and it would become infested with weevils. It was disgusting, and it's all they ate, and that's why they got scurvy. But they would eat hardtack because it kept them alive, because it was a nutritional bread. Yeah.
Yum.
Now, I'll tell you this. If the Hulk were made of hardtack, the Abomination doesn't stand a chance. The Abominating's on the other foot. Hardtack Hulk? That sounds much better than Saltine Hulk, right? You got to be Hardtack Hulk. That actually sounds like a wrestler or you know what that sounds like? Dude, that sounds like a guy who fought Popeye. Doesn't it? Hardtack Hulk? Like you fought Bluto and Hardtack Hulk and the Sea Hag and the Jeep? Eugene the Jeep? What the fuck was Eugene the Jeep? He was like an animal, but he would say Jeep all the time. But you know, he was like a circus freak. Like you ever had those like baby geeks? I think that's what it was. They couldn't call it a geek, but they called it a Jeep instead. Eugene the Jeep and the Sea Hag. Oh, but you know what? Hardtack Hulk looks like Sea Hag, but as a man, but big. Dude, if you combine Bluto and Sea Hag, that's Hardtack Hulk. Max has to draw Hardtack Hulk, right? Doesn't he? I gotta call him. I don't know if he's talking to me anymore. No, it's a joke. We're teasing. We had our thing. Well, I mean, you guys, oh, that brings us to this. Let's talk about that while we can. Well, wait a minute. What do I have to finish something? Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I don't either. I'm talking about hardtack and pirates and weevils.
But before that, we were talking about.
Good luck.
Hold on, we were talking about.
Listen, if you've got a show where the Hulk is made of crackers,
No, we were
be they
talking
saltines
about
or hardtacks, you've got a show.
Problems and getting off the ground.
Getting off the ground with what?
Jill flying.
Oh,
here.
Christ, dude. Get this. But remind me to talk about Mex.
No.
Yes. Jot it down on your new legal pad that's so important to the show. Dude, we're going to give that away in Kickstarter at the end of the year.
I can give them all. I found all of
You
them.
lie. You did not.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I found? Here's something I was going to... Let me ask you this, if this makes an interesting Kickstarter prize. My name tags from Wheel of Fortune and Greed. I have them both at my house. And my old House of Blue security badge. Like, I'm looking at my house at junk. Because I cleaned my house out this week. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I cleaned my house out this week. Like, I made it mine. I got rid of a lot of stuff. And it's not finished. Still a work in progress, but it's super clean. I had the cleaners come over. I got fucking boned by a cleaner.
Awesome.
No, not a good way. We got to talk about that too. God damn it.
Owned by a cleaner. That's not going to make any sense.
Boned by a Cleaner? That should be the name of the show. All right, well, we got to talk about Boned by a Cleaner, and but so I cleaned the house out, and I had to give away some stuff, and yeah. So it's just it made sense. It's time. It's just fucking time. And I, it's funny because I did it, and it was hard in the moment. It wasn't hard but it was just hard because you're severing something. That's all. It's just moving on and getting rid of things, and it needed to be done. It just needed to be done. Like I said, it's not finished, but it's happening. It's in progress. And I got shamed at Goodwill.
What?
Dude. I gave away a TV. Like a 32 ounce. 32 ounce seems light.
32 ounce TV?
Listen, that's how I buy my TVs. I throw them in a swimming pool and see how much they weigh. It's like, how they test for a witch when they have them stand on a scale? And yeah. So I do that with the TV. I balance it with water. And if the TV floats, I buy it. So it was a 32-inch screen, color. It worked great. It's just not a high def. And it's one of those, it's a gigantic fucking square, and it's so fucking heavy. So I lifted it out of my house, and I carried it all the way out to my courtyard, and I put it in my car. And I went to Goodwill, and I dumped in 3 boxes of shit. And then the dude walks out, and I go, "Hey, do you guys take TVs?" He goes, "Yeah, we do." And I go, "Great." So I popped my hatchback, and I went to grab the TV, and I positioned it, and it made a noise, like a scraping noise, because it was plastic on plastic, because it had like a lip at the bottom. And I was like, "Oh, that's okay." And he comes over and he goes, "Sir, don't worry, I'll help you." I go, "That's fine, I got it." I go, I put it in the car. And he goes, "Oh, it's okay, I'll help you." And I go, "All right, if you want to help, that's fine." So he comes over, and I grab about one end, and I go to pull it out, and he fucking literally boxes me out like fucking Shaq. Like he just kind of squeezes in, and he gets position on me, like rebounding position. He didn't physically touch me, but his space was invading my space, and if I had not moved, he would have actually bumped me. But I was holding half of the television set, and then he came in, and he bear hugged the fucking television set like I did when I brought it out to my car, and he just lifted it up, and he started to carry it inside. He said he would help me, but instead he fucking undertook the entire job by himself. And I'm standing there. There's people around. So no, I'm fucking publicly shamed by these people who think I can't lift a fucking television set. And I'm like, dude, no, I can carry that. I can carry that. And he lifts it up, and he takes and he has to walk like a penguin, of course, because just like I had to do to my fucking car, because it's a goddamn heavy television set, and it's bulky and weird. Normally, let me tell you something about myself, folks. I can lift shit. I can carry shit. All right. I can move things. I'm capable. I'm a grown man. I'm ambulatory. So I normally pick something up, and I fucking throw it right on my shoulder. Bang. Flexorama right on my shoulder. We walk out. Groceries, fucking cases of water, whatever the fuck you got, I will throw it on my shoulder and walk out. A girl, I don't care. Whatever you got is getting tossed on my shoulder and getting walked out to its destination. But the TV was too big and bulky and weird. I mean, I could support it because it's better to carry it on my shoulder because then for my legs and all that stuff. But it was just an awkward carry. So getting it out to my fucking car was a chore, but I fucking did it. And then this dude's like, "I'll help you, sir." And he might as well just said, "Stand down, old man. Don't break a hip. I'll get that fucking television set." And people around me are giggling. They may not have been giggling. That may have been in my head. But I don't fucking care, dude. I can help you. You just said you would help me. You didn't say you were going to shove me out of the way and shame me publicly in front of all of these fucking people at the Goodwill. And I'll tell you what, folks, if you're ever going to be publicly shamed, you definitely want that to be at a Goodwill. Oh my God, is that fantastic? As you're dragging your ex-wife's possessions inside and dumping them into a box, and you don't feel enough shame as it is, then by all means have people laugh at you because you can't carry a fucking television set, even though I can carry a goddamn television set. So he carried it and he walked the fuck out. And I was torn. I'm standing there and I literally followed him in. I'm going, "I can get that. I could get that. I could help you with that. I can get half that. Dude, I can carry that. I carried it to my car. I actually put that in my car. I can get," like, I'm proving to myself that I'm a man, even though I know in my head that I carried it. And, but nobody saw me at my house carry it. See, I should have filmed it. I should have had somebody film it to prove that I could carry this fucking television set. But otherwise, how the fuck else would I get in my car? What do I have, a fucking genie who blinked it into my fucking car? No, we got me carrying a fucking television set. That's how I did it. God damn it. I can do it. I can carry it. Get the fuck out of my way, Goodwill Jones. I can do this. But instead he took it. And I got to admit, as shamed as I was, as I trailed behind him going, "I can carry that, sir. I can help with that. I got it to my car, didn't I? I can help you," like trying to prove it. Part of me in my head was like, just be a pussy. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Because it's like you're torn between being lazy or looking like a pussy. And I went, well, I guess I'm lazy because I could have carried it, but I guess I'll be a pussy because this guy just totally shamed me and he carried it in, and I don't have to stand there and look like a pussy in front of everybody. And I'm sure they're still talking about it.
Why can't you be the third option of happy that somebody else lifted the big fucking TV and you didn't have to?
Because I have to carry the TV. V and Y, ladies and gentlemen, vascular and yoked. I've been doing a lot of work. I've been doing a ton of work, man. I'm looking good. I can carry a fucking television set. If anything, I'm worried that when I pick up the television set, I'm going to tip over seesaw style because it weighs more than me. But I got it done. I carried it to my fucking car. Pissed me off. Goodwill Jones. Dude, and I brought in like a bunch of books. And it's I tell you what, it's like Goodwill ostensibly is a good thing because they're giving people poor. Which I think I said wrong. I think I may have said that I'm giving poor people things, but you know what? On a much better scale, they are giving people poor. When you go to Goodwill, that's all you're doing is grabbing up a couple of armfuls of poor and walking out of the fucking building. I don't care if it's a flowered shirt or fucking Obama's biography. Whatever you're getting is poor. If you're getting a 32-ounce television set and you got to carry it to your car, that's poor. But dude, I brought these books and the guy goes, all right, dump them in that bin marked books. And he meant it. Because I said, I want to keep the container these are in. That's like big carrying thing. And he goes, yeah, well, go ahead. I had to he literally just like over the top, just dumping books by the pound. Mex and I wrote a sketch once. We did a goofy thing called Books by the Pound. I should air that if I've got it. Maybe I'll throw that in here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you know, can we put Books by the Pound in?
We can find it.
I got it at my house. I'll mail it to you.
Okay.
All right, guys, you're going to hear Books by the Pound at some point. But we did a thing called Books by the Pound. And it was just essentially, because it always made me laugh when I would go into Borders or Barnes & Noble, and out front, they would have that table of dollar books. And it was literally, it was just this thing where they're like, hey, who wants to read? You know what I mean? Like there was no subject matter that you would be interested in. There was nothing that you would go, oh yes, absolutely. I would enjoy this book on the history of the wrench. I mean, nobody fucking wants that. But it's outside. It was like a dollar bin for books. And it's like, dude, maybe for music, I understand looking through and you're looking for a single or something that you might like, or maybe you're discovering new things. But a book is an investment, man. That's why I always say this show is more of a book than a movie. Because in a movie, it's over in 2 hours and you can fucking forget it. This is a goddamn book. You got to pay attention every week and read another fucking chapter, or else you're going to fall woefully behind, which I hear from people all the time is they email me and they're like, oh my God, I'm so behind in the show. Who was it who wanted an update on my life a couple of weeks ago? We talked about that. Yeah. But then he wrote me and he's like, dude, I'm not a year behind. I'm like 3 weeks behind. And it's, you know what? If you fall 3 weeks behind in the show, you might as well be a fucking year behind. Things are happening fast, fast, fast. Why, in a month from now when you hear the show, you're going to go, Saltine Hulk is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. But certainly not as good as Hardtack Hulk. Let me ask you this. In a cracker-based Hulk fight, Hardtack Hulk versus Saltine Hulk. Saltine Hulk still crumbles, right? Because hard is right in the name. Dude, what if there was a fucking Biscotti Hulk? That could stand up to Hardtack Hulk. You know what? I think Biscotti is just hardtack with pimentos in it. Pimentos? Pistachios. I meant pistachios. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? Oh my God, could you have a biscotti with pimentos in it? Who makes a savory biscotti? Oh Christ. I'll tell you what, that is a great name for an opera singer though. Oh my God. If there's a concert by Savory Biscotti, how do you not buy tickets immediately? Savory Biscotti, and who's opening? Hardtack Hulk? Dude, I've just created, you know what? I think that's all playing at the Echoplex tonight. Hardtack Hulk is opening for Savory Biscotti. Dude, I'm a hipster band machine. That's who the fuck I am. Hipster should listen to the show just to get fucking band names. Saltine Hulk, Hardtack Hulk, fucking Savory Biscotti. I'm in. No, what am I thinking of? What is biscottis those are hard and crunchy, right? Aren't those awful? What is that fucking, no, dude, what's that dessert? But it's not really a dessert. It's a punishment. What the fuck is it? They advertised it like, their whole thing was like, it's sweet, but it's not really for kids, but it's savory for adults, but it's sweet. Or not savory, it's adults can savor it. It's sweet, but it was a treat, but it wasn't pastry. It tricked you because it looked like pastry, but it was like, all right, you know what Zwieback is? Like baby biscuits or whatever. It was like that, but for grown-ups. But they made it, they were like, oh, but it's too sophisticated for children. Like Toblerone, where they try to fool you into thinking that was a candy bar that meant anything. Even though it was like, all it was like Toblerone is just like nougat and a nut. That's all it is, covered in chocolate, right? And then there's white chocolate Toblerone. Fuck Toblerone. You know what? On fucking Wheel of Fortune, they constantly would give away the Toblerone. Like I was always freaked out about it. And I'm like, why is Toblerone? And it was like $50. Who the fuck wants $50 for the Toblerone? But then I realized they were trying to pin it like it was fancy. So there was like, literally $50 might have been 2 Toblerones. Oh, by the way, as long as we're talking about Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak pays his bills. That's all I'll say. I took a photo of it, actually. I was going to put it online. And then I'm like, you're posting a photo of a check to you. I'm like, you're about to go to bankruptcy court. I don't know if you want to get and post that fucking check. Here's my check for $5,000, sir. We were at your Facebook page, and we sorted through all the artwork of you punching an old man, and we found this. Terrible. What the fuck is this candy? It's not candy, it's cake, but it's not cake. It's like Zwieback for adults, and it has pistachios and shit in it. I remember it because you're supposed to dunk it in coffee and make it soft. But as a kid, I didn't drink coffee, so my mom would buy it to dunk in coffee and make it soft, and then I would bite it, and it hurt your teeth. What the fuck is it? It's like a cake, a hard cake. What about Hard Cake Hulk? Oh my God, let's have him enter the fucking fray, dude. This octagon is full of different kinds of cracker Hulks. I love it. Hard Cake Hulk, Hardtack Hulk. There's a band. These are bands. Saltine Hulk. We gotta go Hulk Triple Bill. I'm sorry, Savory Biscotti. We'll have to book you another night. But it had a name. It was like Dolly Madison. It was a lady's name. Was their food. It was a product. And again, like I said, they pitched it as to drink with coffee and make soft. But then as a kid, I would just bite it and it would crunch. It was so disgusting. It was like eating. Here's the thing. It was shaped like a putter. Like the bottom of a golf club, a putter. It was kind of like a lip, like that shape. So it was like eating a putter, like a flavored putter, like a crunchy putter. Oh my God, it was so well. Look, crunchy is not a modifier you need to use on a putter because I think we all know a putter is going to be crunchy when you eat it, right? Very rarely you're going to run to a soft putter. Dude, soft putter has to open for Savory Biscotti. Oh my God, soft putter and Savory Biscotti, because that's another night at the Echoplex. We've already got 3 Hulks. We got a triple Hulk bill. So then we go ahead and we have soft putter and Savory Biscotti. Stella Dora breadsticks. Bang! There you go. That's it. Because it was a chick's name and I couldn't fucking pull it. But now I got it. Stella Dora breadsticks. It was like cake that had been hit with a fucking hard ray. Like it was like someone went, hey, you know what? Let's put cinnamon in a cinder block. I mean, it was just fucking disgusting. And again, you were supposed to put it in coffee and it was getting all soft and you could chew it and like, But as a kid, I didn't have any fucking coffee. So I would steal one and I'd bite it and it was just fucking depressing. It was awful. It was like eating drywall with nutmeg in it. Oh my God, was it terrible, right? I'm right. Everybody? I throw this out to you. Everybody, you know who actually, I throw that out to everybody and everybody agrees with me except one person right now. A forlorn Stella Doro pulls the earbuds from her ears and goes back to the drawing board. All right. So, what are we talking about?
Boned by a Cleaner, The Interlude, and David, Max.
Oh, Max. No, he's good. He's okay. What was there? I was going to talk about with him. Oh, The Interlude. That's what we're going to talk about. Jill. Flying.
Well, I figured you just
Dude,
abandoned that story.
I can't abandon that story. It's an awesome story. You know what, though? It's not really my story to tell. I can tell my side of it. You know what? Here's how it looked through the prism of Mike Schmidt's eyes.
Prism or prison?
I don't know if I care for that insinuation.
I couldn't know which you said.
Oh, I said prism.
Oh, prism.
But you think there's a prison in my head, eh?
Well, being away behind jail cell from her, yeah.
Oh, look at you spinning it nice.
No, that's what I thought you were saying. And I was like, did you really just say the prism?
No, I said the prism. Go back and listen. Please rewind it. Go back
believe you.
and to the left. Go back
And to the left.
and to the left. Go back and to the left. We are through the looking glass here, people. Literally, if Mex heard nothing else from the show, he heard me do that, and he's just like furious now. He immediately went to the internet and debunked 4 more Kennedy assassination theories. Mex is that guy. Mex is the guy who is just like, dude, Oswald acted alone. Everybody shut the fuck up. Like he's angry about it. Like to the point where he actually would climb to the top of the book depository and start shooting everybody just to prove the point. Like I'm waiting for it to happen. The only problem is the book depository. And by the way, what is the book depository? Was it a library? What is a book depository? Like I don't even understand it. Other than shelter for a gunman. That's what it was. Dude. If they build a book depository in your town, just stay inside. If they build a library, go enjoy, read the literature. Why? As a matter of fact, I understand there's a book out front with books for $1. They have books by the pound at that library. So Jill's like, dude, I don't think we're gonna get out of Milwaukee. And I'm calming her down. I'm like, dude, it's amazing. I travel all the time. It's going to be great. Once they get in the air, the pilots are great. And she's like, this plane is so small, and I'm just so scared. I go, don't be scared. You're good. It's going to be fine. As soon as you're out of Milwaukee, which is essentially just a cheese prison, you'll be out and you'll be in the sky and you'll be moving on. It's great. And she's like, oh, all right, that's fine. And I think I calmed her down. So then she's like, honey, there's no plane here. There's not even a plane here. Like, people are sleeping. Oh my God, honey, people are sleeping here. And I'm like, well, yeah, they're waiting for the plane. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. I go, they'll make up time in the air. They always do. So she winds up getting on the plane in Milwaukee. And late, like 40 minutes late. And her layover is only 55 minutes in Dallas. And she's texting me and she goes, this guy next to me is going to San Antonio. And he tells me I'm never going to make it. And I said, this is why you bring earbuds on a plane. Don't listen to that motherfucker. I go, he's changed his mind like 9 times. Because earlier he's like, we're not going to make it. We're going to make it. We're not going to make it. We're going to make it. And then he's like, hey, you should just take your heels off and go through the airport. And I'm like, this guy just wants to see your feet. And honestly, he doesn't have any advice that's constructive for you. He just wants to see your feet on the plane. But I didn't say that. Because I'm trying to be nice and I'm very positive. Honey, don't worry. You're going to make it. So I'm at my desk. And time's passing. And on my flight app, it says the plane's going to leave at 4:41. And I text her, I go, 4:41, you're on the ground at like 4:13. You've got plenty of time. Even though she landed at a B gate and she had to get to the C gate, and in Dallas she got to ride the tram. And I'm like, but she's still going to make it. It's going to happen. It just depends on if she can hustle. But the thing is, she's not a traveler, so I don't want to say to her, you got to hustle, because that just sounds ridiculous. And also, she's a lady. I don't want to have a lady fucking O.J. Simpson throughout the goddamn airport. And I'm sure she's wearing a dress and she looks amazing. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm waiting and waiting. And at like 4:37, a picture just appears on my phone. And it's a picture of the blue screen and it just says flight to whatever departed Los Angeles. And she just goes, missed it by motherfucking 2 minutes. And so I texted her and I'm like, how? Because they I even told her, I go, they hold connecting flights for people. They know. Everybody knows. Don't worry about it. The airlines take care of it. I mean, 2 minutes. And she said that she saw them closing the door as she was getting there. And she's like, wait. And they wouldn't. They closed it and they go, sorry, we can't help you. We're really sorry. Once it's closed. And they closed the doors, but the plane was out there for another 15 minutes. But they wouldn't let her on. So I immediately flew to Orbitz and I flew to American Airlines. And I'm like, I go, honey, there's a 5:30. Because I had told her earlier, I go, don't worry about it. They'll get you on another plane if you miss it. But I didn't think she was going to miss it. I go, all right. I go, there's a 5:30 and there's a 6:30. I go, at Dallas is American Airlines hub. They'll get you on a plane. So she has to go all the way back to the A terminal and take the 5:30. They give her a ticket for the 5:30. And she gets all the way over there and she's talking to me and she's texting me and stuff. And she's like, all right, well, we're getting ready to leave here. And I said, okay, good. And I'm at the house. And she calls me. And I pick up the phone and I go, hey, are you boarding? She just goes, I missed my flight. What? She goes, I missed the plane. I go, how did you miss it? We were talking. You were headed over there. It doesn't leave for like another 25 minutes. She goes, no, I'm here. I go, if you were there, how did you miss it? Did it leave early? That makes no sense. She goes, no, I'm here. And they're telling me there's no seats on the plane. They gave me a ticket at the other window, and now there's no seats. People who bought it, I guess, claimed them, so I can't get on this plane. And I can hear that frustration is creeping into her voice. And because, again, she's not a traveling person. And all she wants to do is be here. Yeah. And she worked overnight 12 hours. She didn't sleep. She's just cranky. And not, it's not even cranky. She's just tired and wants to relax. And this is why I try to get her on nonstop flights. And I try to get her to fly to Burbank. But did I tell the story about her? Oh, my God. Well, here's the thing that happened with her Burbank flight. I don't know if I told this. I booked this flight for her. And I knew I had a Burbank flight for her on the way here. Because Milwaukee flies to Burbank like nonstop. So I was like, perfect. So I had that all picked out. So instead, I went and did a bunch of research to try to find her flight home because the Burbank flights were too expensive. So I finally booked the flight home, and then I came back to the Southwest page to buy her the Burbank flight, and it was 2 minutes after midnight, and the prices had changed. It went from $160 to $571. And I just sat there like a dumbass. So I had to tell her that. So now I just feel even more stupid because I was the one who had to book this thing, and she has to, and again, I want to protect her. I want to keep bad things from happening to her, and I have to realize life is life. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can't help but blame myself for this because she shouldn't be on fucking 2 planes, and also I live here. It's a fucking mess. So I wind up internalizing all that, but I'm still trying to be peppy, and I'm like, hey, don't worry, it's good. You'll be on another plane. It's gonna be great. It's just, and she's like, but I'm losing hours with you, and I'm tired, and I'm like, I get it, I totally get it, honey. But now they'll get you on the 6:30, and it's gonna be fine. She's like, yeah, but I'm so tired, and I haven't slept, and I haven't eaten. Are we gonna eat, honey? And she goes, she's like, should I get a $20 half a sandwich at the fucking airport? And I'm just like, we're gonna eat. I go, we will go to dinner right when I pick you up. It's gonna be fine. Just let me know your departure time. So in the meantime, I go to the bank. And because I had to close an account. So I was there for over an hour, as I had to tell them why I was there alone and all these different things. So as we're doing that, I get a text from her. And she's just like, all right, honey, they closed the door on this plane. And she sent me a picture of herself, and she looks so miserable and sad. And she's just like, all right, they closed the door, and I'm on my way to you. And I said, honey, I love you. I'm so happy. I go, but I need to know your arrival time and your flight number. And she's like, well, it's 24:53. And she took a picture of her boarding pass. She goes, I don't know the arrival time, but we're leaving now. And so in my head, I can do the math. I know it's like a 3 hour and 15-minute flight, and it doesn't fucking matter. I would have driven to Dallas to fucking get her. I don't care. So I can do the fucking math. So she's like, all right, well, we're here. Here's the boarding pass. And she goes, I can't talk to anybody yet, honey. And they're telling us to turn her. I go, it's okay. I go, I love you. It's fine. And I always tell her when she comes here, she can't leave. So I texted her and I said, I'm sorry the last plane flight you'll ever take was such an ordeal. So then Graham calls me while I'm at the bank. And I can't get it because I'm dealing with the account stuff. And the woman who's helping me looks and she goes, you can take that. And I go, I don't take phone calls when I'm with people. She goes, you're the only person in the world who thinks that way. And I go, well, you're helping me. So there's no reason for me to put you on hold when I know I can deal with it. I go, look, if it was my mom or somebody, it's a different story. I said, there's 2 people in the world I would take a phone call from. So we start talking more about the account, and then they have to print it out. And the thing is, they were having trouble printing out that the account was definitively closed. And I said, I have to have proof. I said, I have to have proof that the final payment cleared to the IRS, and I have to have proof that I've closed this account and it can't be used again. She's like, okay, well, the printer's not working. I got to figure it out. So that's why I was there for over an hour. They're fucking around. Like 25 minutes goes by. And she comes back and she's like, all right, well, I think I found this. It's going to be printing, but we're going to have to talk to a private bank. And my phone rings and it's Jill. And I go, this is one of the 2 people in the world I have to take the phone call from. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And I go, okay. And I answer the phone and I go, how are you calling me? She goes, we're not leaving. I said, what? She goes, they stopped the plane. I go, what do you mean they stopped the plane? She said, honey, I don't know. I can't understand it. And I'm in the plane now, and they're telling me that we have to go back to the terminal, and they're taking us back. We're stopped. We're just on the tarmac sitting here. We're just sitting here. And I said, well, what did they say? And she goes, well, the captain came on, and he actually said, never before in the history of the airline. And I said, I don't, what? And she said they get a mechanic and they don't know what it is, but there's no heat and no power on a certain part of the plane, and it's just they have to fix it. And we're here, honey. We're here all night. We're here all night. I'm not going to be there. We're staying. I have to get a hotel in Dallas. They're putting us up. They're taking us back. But we're just sitting here now. And she's kind of revving. And I'm like, honey, calm down. It's fine. It's just time. And she goes, yes, but it's time I'm not with you. And I go, I know. Believe me. I said, I'm all out of positive at this point. I've been as positive as I can all day. You'll get in the air. It'll be fine. You'll fly. It'll be fine. They always take care of this. I have faith in the airlines. Look, I'm a gold level flyer. Have I mentioned that I'm a gold level flyer on American? And she's like, but honey, they're not, I can't believe this. I just want to be there. I'm so tired and I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. And I said, I know, I get it. I go, and she said, he said in his 25 years as a pilot and his 10 years, but never in the history of the airline has this happened before. And I was like, so what are they doing? She goes, I think they're taking us back, but I don't know. My phone's about to die. I just, my phone, it's ready to, and she starts to cry. And I don't know what to do, because I just want, what I want to do? I just want to reach the phone and say it's going to be okay and hold her. But I've been saying it's going to be okay all day. And now I'm a liar. I'm a complete liar because it hasn't been okay all day. So I'm just trying to calm her down, and I'm just like, listen, it's okay. And she goes, but I have to go because my phone is going to die, and I need to keep it so I can tell you later what we're doing and where I'm going. And I said, I get that. I go, but you just need to relax. I know that it sounds terrible, but you please just relax. I can't believe this is happening either. I can't. This, And I don't want to say this never happens, because obviously it does happen, but also I don't want to tell her I'm like her fourth flight to California. This never happens. You're the one who made it happen. And she's like, honey, I'm so, oh my God, honey. And I hear her kind of grit her teeth and she goes, I am candy bar mad. And I tried not to laugh, because it was so cute that she said it, because it's like, that's because I was mad about the fucking Kit Kats, and she's like, I'm candy bar mad, and she goes, I knew you'd be candy bar mad. I'm like, honey, relax. And she's crying, and she goes, I gotta go, I love you. And I'm like, I love you, and she hangs up. And then Francesca, my personal banker, who had listened to this entire phone call, is there, and she just goes, is everything okay? And I go, no, it's not. I go, it's terrible. And then she, unfortunately, I vomited the entire story on top of her, and she was really nice about it, but she just wanted to go back to work. So she had to spend the night in Dallas. She's like, I got to go. I've got to get a hotel voucher, and she lets me go. And I should tell you this. Yesterday, like I said, I was kind of a bum yesterday. Oh, dude, I got to tell you this fucking story. I've been going back and forth to Goodwill. It's taken a few days to get my apartment looking, and then these cleaners were going to come and fix my house. So I made an appointment on last Wednesday with a cleaner, and things you have to schedule way out. Now, I had been using a certain cleaning service because I had some Living Social stuff, but that's gone, and now it's like double. So I was like, I'll try another place through Groupon. So I booked a cleaning, and they were great, and they said they'd be here. I go, look, you have to be here by Tuesday. You have to. I have out-of-town guests coming on Tuesday, and my house has to be cleaned. They're like, no problem. We can arrange for it to be there on Monday morning at 7 a.m. I'm like, that's really early, but if it's the only time we can do it, let's do it, because it's the only time we have available. I said, great. Our team will be out there. Monday morning, 7 a.m. comes, 7:15 comes, 7:30 comes, and I'm calling them and not getting anything, and then texting the number that I had, and they're just like, well, what's your name, Lou? I'm like, no, and I gave my name and information, and I sent a copy of the confirmation text that they sent me, and I said, here you go. This is, and they're like, well, our office doesn't open until 9, so we won't be able to investigate it until then. I go, great, you were supposed to be here at 7, and then I have an appointment at 9. And then I have my day to take care of. So what is going to happen? And she's like, well, we can, I'll let you know as soon as somebody comes in. I go, cancel everything. Don't charge my card. Cancel everything you've got. Well, I just want to make sure you know that there was when you signed up, there's a 24-hour cancellation fee. And I go, no, there isn't. You didn't show up. Well, we also have a 2-hour window that we can show up on. No, you don't. I have a confirmation email. None of it is on there. I booked verbally over the phone. I'm like, dude, I'm freaking out on this person. I'm texting furiously. And I go, cancel it. Cancel everything. Do not charge my card. I do not want this service. There you go. And then she would say something, and I go, great, cancel it. Do not charge my card. I do not want this service. And she's like, sir, I understand your meaning. I go, I'm going to repeat that in every text we have, just so you know it's in there, and you can't ever say you didn't see it. Cancel it. Don't charge my card. And I just kept sending it. And in the meantime, I had to talk to the other cleaners, the one I had used before, and I'm going to pay extra, but I don't fucking care because they were dependable and they did a great job. So sure enough, I booked them, and I can't book the barefoot chick, but I have to book somebody else. And they go, we got another team and she'll come out. And I said, great. And I go, when can you be here? And they go, how about tomorrow morning at 9? But it took like an hour and a half to book it because they had to fucking figure everything out. God damn it, it was brutal. So I was boned by the first cleaner, but then the other cleaner came and at least kissed me on the mouth and made it better. All right, so they came yesterday. They cleaned the house. And but everything was clean except me, because I was going back and forth to Goodwill, and it was a fucking 100 degrees yesterday, and so I was wearing shorts and a shirt. I had my Chupacabra shirt on because a shout out to Hoove, Chief. So I was gonna take a photo of it and send it to him. But so I'm out, and I hadn't shaved in like 2 weeks, so I wanted to get a haircut and a shave. So last week, I needed a haircut. I was getting a little shaggy, but I didn't care. It was long on top, and it was getting thicker on the sides, and I kind of liked the way it looked. But I'm like, you know what? I'm shooting a very important documentary next week, so I need to look good. So I usually have Missy cut my hair, but here's one of the reasons why I haven't had my hair cut is because Missy left. So I don't know who to trust to cut my hair anymore. So Natalie can still cut my hair, but she only cuts hair on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I'm always working. There's a Floyd's directly across the street from Barbecue House. It's the same operation, just different hair people. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be super easy. I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to tell them what to do, and they're going to do it. Just get over your fears. You don't have a hairstylist. You have a simple cut. Even Missy said, your hair takes 10 minutes to cut. I said, great. So I went into the Floyd's, and I said, I don't know who you have. And they said, Monique is available. I said, fantastic. Let's do Monique. So Monique comes to get me, and we sit down, and she goes, what do you need done? And I said, here's what I need done. And I showed her a picture. And the picture is a picture of Michael Pitt from Boardwalk Empire. And it's a picture from the side, so you see exactly what he has. He's got the hair that goes back, and it lays flat, and then you see that it's all shaved on the sides. I said, it's a cut right from the 20s. It's super easy. I said, you cut my hair in a 3-guard all the way around and in the back. And then on the top, we're going to lose some of the length, but not a lot. I don't want to lose a lot of the length. She goes, okay. She goes, well, I can handle that. That's fine. And I said, great. I said, you got the picture? I can show you a picture of me right after a haircut as well. I have that. And she goes, no, it's okay. I've got it. I said, good. So use a 3-guard all the way around. She goes, perfect. So she does the 3-guard, and we're talking, we're making small talk, and I tell her my fears of having my hair cut by a new person, because I've had Missy and I've had Natalie. For the past 6 years, I've only had 2 people have cut my hair, and they've done it correctly. And I've trusted them, so I didn't have to do anything. I go, so that's why I'm overly verbal when I try to explain to you what I want, because I don't want you to mess it up. And I go, and that's not on you, that's on me. I need you to make sure that you know what I'm saying. She goes, absolutely, I know what you're saying. So she's shaving, and then she's shaving in the back, and she goes, do you want this squared off or rounded? At the bottom of my head in the back. Now, Natalie and Missy asked me that once, and I said, I don't know, what are we supposed to do? And then Missy was like, it looks better if you do this. And I said, then just do that all the time. I don't remember what it was. I just know that Missy did it. I think it was square. I don't think it was like rounded in the back. I think it was like straight across. So I said, well, I'll tell you what do you think I should do? She goes, well, we can taper it. I go, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I was thinking this on the sides too. She goes, on the top, as you can see, it's kind of like it's one length, but it's not really all one length. So if we tapered it and we went ahead and made it, I go, no, don't do that. Do a 3-guard all the way around and then cut just a tiny bit of the length off in the back. That's all I want. She goes, okay, but if you went ahead with a different kind of guard and I go, that's okay. Here's a picture of Michael Pitt. Do that to my head. And she's like, well, okay, but you see, if you see, look in there, the light, he's blonde, so it looks different. You got brown hair, so if I went ahead and tapered it a little differently on this side and we took it up and dude, fuck, I own my skull, all right? Don't suggestive sell me my own fucking skull. I know what I want done to it. I told you, I showed you a goddamn picture from Boardwalk Empire. Do that to my head. Just fucking do it. Fuck your Michelangelo nonsense. Do what I said. I didn't say it that forcefully, but essentially I was like, no, please, just cut, just do it. And she goes, okay. So she says, do you want me to square off or round? And I go, what do you think? She goes, well, I think we can taper it and square it. I go, don't taper anything. I go, square it. That's fine. Do it. Just a 3-guard all the way around and then cut a little of length off the top. So she's still using the trimmer and then she's buzzing and I feel she's buzzing on the side of my head and she's got a comb out and she's doing stuff. And she's kind of pressing on my head. And it's normally, if they do that when they're going, but it's all long fluid motions to cut the hair off. But it feels like she's kind of tic-tac-toeing my head. Like she kind of, like the razor, zit, 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 like these little things. And then finally I go, because I'm not looking in the mirror or anything. She's just cutting. And I just go, hey, are you cutting a pattern into my head? What are you doing? She goes, well, I'm just doing what you said. You wanted me to square and taper the sideburns. And I go, what? And I look and I go, no! She cut off my sideburns because she saw that I had the goatee that went up my neck. She thought she was going to taper it so it connected my beard to my sideburns. And I'm like, dude, I'm not in fucking Color Me Bad. What the fuck are you doing to my skull? And she goes, well, you said to taper it, so I'm tapering your sideburns so they go ahead and connect to you. I go, no, it doesn't connect. It doesn't connect. Can you see where it connects? She goes, well, no, you said that. I go, no, I didn't. I showed you a picture of what to do to my head. I go, look, it doesn't connect. If you look, the sideburns are a different length, but I hadn't shaved in a couple of weeks, so it was kind of scrubby. So she thought that I just had let it get away. I'm like, no, fuck no. Look, it's thick here. It's not thick here. And I'm arguing with her in the chair. And she's like, oh, well, I thought you said just taper it and square it. And I go, no. I go, so now she cut my fucking sideburns off. And she goes, well, all right, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry about that. I go, she goes, what do you want me to do? I go, just cut the other one off. Just fucking cut it off because it's going to match. I can't have fucking one that doesn't match. And she goes, well, do you want me to taper it? No, I don't want you to fucking, just cut it. So fucking gone. And then she goes, all right, well, what are we doing at the top? And she goes, you wanted me to cut off a certain length because again, I can taper it to where it matches. I go, I'm going to leave. She goes, what? And I go, I'm done. We're done. She goes, what do you mean? And I go, we're done. You've done everything you can do, and thank you, and I appreciate it, and I'll pay for this, and I'm leaving, but you're not touching the top of my head. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I go, yeah, it's my fault. I go, because I thought I was explicit with a picture I showed you 3 times, and when I told you what to do, a 3-guard all the way around, that's all I said. And I thought I was pretty explicit about it, but I'm just leaving. I'm leaving. She's like, all right. She took the fucking cape off, and I walked over to pay, and I paid. I paid my $17, whatever the fuck, and I tipped her, and I left. Fuck yeah, I tipped her. Yeah, I did. Because you know what? She still did some of it. I know she shouldn't have learned a lesson. I know it's dumb, but I was just pissed.
Lesson. It's she didn't do her job, and a tip is a gratuity to thank you for doing your job.
Yeah.
And it is expected when you do your job.
Well, she cut some of the hair off, and then I was mean to her. So I figured, what the hell, $5 will cover it. So I did. So anyway, it's not what I normally would have tipped. Normally I tip more for a haircut. So she fucking cut my sideburns off. And it was so funny. I texted Jill, and I'm like, and before I went in, I was texting Jill, and I go, it's not a hard haircut. I go, but I'm so scared to death of anybody do it. And she goes, honey, it's going to be fine. You know what? So fuck that. That haircut was her flight. She was all positive to me in my text and telling me, come on, honey, it's going to be great. You're going to look good no matter what. You're always so, yeah. And I go, and then they fucked it up. And I wrote her, and I go, and I just said, you're going to laugh. And she goes, oh no. And I go, she cut my sideburns off. And I took a picture, and she's like, yep, she cut them off. I'm like, yep. So I didn't cut the top of my hair. I left it long. And it flips up a little bit in the back. But then I'm like, you know what? I'll have Natty clean it up on Tuesday before I pick Jill up. So yesterday's a big day. I've got to go. I've got to get the house cleaned. I had to go to the gym and get vascular and yoked. I had all sorts of stuff to do during the day, and then finish the house and Goodwill, and it was all sorts of stuff. And then I scheduled an appointment, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have Natalie cut my hair, and I'm going to get a shave. I haven't had a shave in a barbershop in a long time, and they do them there. And I think I told you this. If anybody out there is an investor, you need to contact me, because I have an idea that will print money. It will absolutely print fucking money. So contact me and let me know. I think I've even said it on the show, so I'm probably not giving away any secrets. So I called up to make an appointment with the barber, in addition to Natalie. Natalie's not working on Tuesday. But we have a guy named Garrett. He's the master barber. I said, awesome. I said, I want to see him. And they go, well, you need to schedule because he fills up pretty quick. Do you want a haircut and a shave? I said, I don't know if I can. Yeah, well, maybe. Right now I want to shave. If I can talk Garrett into a haircut, I will. I'm like, what does that mean? I go, just schedule me. They go, well, he's 1 o'clock. And I go, well, honestly, I have to call tomorrow because I don't know what my day looks like. Well, he fills up quick. So I called the next day. And I go, I would like an appointment with Garrett. And they said, I'm sorry, he's busy until 8 o'clock tonight. I said, that will not do. I said, you don't have any barbers in? They go, no, we have a barber named Chianti. And now's the time for me to tell you my $1 million idea. It is a fancy barbershop staffed by strippers who will give you straight razor shaves. Because haircuts are haircuts. But I want a shaving parlor with women who shave you with straight razors. Scantily clad women who shave you with straight razors. I will print money. So when he says Chianti is going to shave me, in my mind, I'm like, I hope we can get her off the pole in time to shave me.
Oh my God.
But I'm also a little upset because it turns out that they're stealing my idea. And I'm furious. I haven't found an investor yet. But I'm going to go in and scope out a little bit. Maybe if Chianti's good at this, I can steal her away. And that will be the germ of my idea. Chianti is the germ. Put that in a bass drum. So I make the appointment. He's like, how about 1:30? I said, how about yes? So the people finish cleaning my house. And again, I'm still wearing Chupacabra shirt and I got my fucking shorts on and I'm looking kind of haggard. And I go and I show up and I'm like, I'm here for a shave at 1:30. And they go, great. Chianti's, well, come on over, Chianti. Chianti comes over. He seems like a nice gentleman.
I knew it.
He's about 6'4", good looking guy. And I have to be honest, I was bummed because I really wanted to have a woman give me a straight razor shave, but I was also relieved because my idea is still intact. So he brings me over to the little house, his little barber house, and he's like, all right, come on over. And I said, great. And he is meticulously groomed. I mean, he has a goatee, but he's got like the mouth outline around it where like you can see his lips. His lips are prominent within the goatee. Like he you know, you talk about seeing the forest for the trees. Well, he's trimmed the forest so you can see a real clear shot of the tree. Like, I mean, it looks like a monster. Like, I mean, because it's all trimmed around but his mouth is very prominent. And he's a good looking guy. So he's like, all right, what do you want done? And I said, all right, listen to me. This is going to be really weird. And he puts the cape on me. And I said, I just need a shave. He goes, what do you want, a haircut too? And I go, no, I just need a shave. Because I'm willing to live with the length of my hair. I don't want to fuck that up. I go, but here's what you got to do. I go, I have like a faux chin strap. I go, it kind of goes to here. It's about 2/3 of the way up my jawline. I go, so you got to shave everything underneath it and shave everything on top of it, but you leave that. I go, and you trim the goatee and that with a 6 guard. And he goes, 6 guard? He goes, that seems kind of full. And I go, that's what I want it. I want it to be full. I go, I'm not meticulously shaping my face. I go, I have a big face, and so I need a big beard to kind of go on the jawline and stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to look like an idiot. And he goes, well, I go, well, look, I'm not Drake. I go, I can't have a pencil mustache. I'm not John Waters. I just need, it's going to be, you'll see it. When you start to shave it, you'll see it because it's thicker in spots. And he goes, all right. He goes, well, do you want me to shave around your lips to make the lips prominent? I'm like, no, Chianti, that seems to be your trick, but no, I'll go ahead and pass. And he's like, all right, so you still want the full goatee? And I said, yes, I want the full goatee, and then I want it to go up the 2/3 of the way through the jawline. You're going to shave everything on top on my cheeks, and you're going to shave everything underneath on my neck. And he goes, okay. I go, look, I'm panicking, and I understand that. I go, I haven't had a shave in a long time, and it's kind of a weird thing to do. I go, it's when it's shaved, you'll see exactly what it looks like. But when my head's a fucking forest like this, it's going to be hard for you to parse what I want. And he goes, no. He goes, I ask questions. He goes, I've been doing this for years, and I ask questions because I want to make sure you get exactly what you want. I said, great. I go, so I need to keep the goatee, and it connects to the chin strap thing that goes about 2/3 of the way up my jawline, and then you'll shave everything else off. He goes, so you want to keep all this? And he puts his finger on the jawline stuff. I go, yes. Everything underneath it goes. Everything above it goes. But you'll see, I'll show you. It's like this. And I use my hands to outline it. I go all the way up to here, stays. It's like a racing stripe up both sides of my head. And he goes, oh. He goes, well, I don't think a 6 guard is going to trim that. It looks pretty full. And I go, I just did it like 2 days ago, but I'm saying if you want to trim it, you can. Otherwise, I will go home and trim it with a 6 guard myself. He goes, okay. He goes, so we're keeping the full goatee. I said, yeah. And he goes, okay. And he goes to grab the shaving cream, and he goes, so do you want me to start at the neck, or do you want me to take this stuff off first and then taper it down here? And I go, I'm going to leave, Chianti. And he goes, what? And I go, seriously, I can't explain it again, and I can't afford anybody fucking up my head. I can't. I just had somebody shave my fucking sideburns off, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving. He goes, you're not serious. And I go, I am. And I stand up, and I still have the cape on. And I'm trying to talk to him, and I'm gesturing with my hands underneath the cape, so it looks like I'm a ghost, because I'm just like, dude, you don't understand. I'm trying to tell you that I just don't want that. And you asked me 9 times now what I want, and I've told you, and you keep asking the same question over and over, and I know you're just going to fucking Zorro the shit out of my head. I know you're going to Zorro the shit out of my head. And I'm saying this. This I'm actually saying out loud, because I can't believe it. I took the time to come there, and it's $30 for a fucking shave. And I'm willing, you know what? I wanted to lay back and get a hot towel, and I told him, I go, dude, I get shaves all the time, but I get them from old school dudes who put a hot towel on your face, and then they just fucking shave you. They don't fuck around. They know what you want, and they listen. And I go, I don't need anything shaped. I don't need to taper it. I don't need to fucking sculpt it. I go, I just need a fucking shave. That's it. Old school. And I go, and I'm sorry to do this to you. And I still have the cape. And now people are looking at me because I'm gesturing with the cape and it's flying all over the fucking place. You know who I look like? Buster Balloon. When he climbs inside his giant thing, I mean, it's just like literally I'm wailing my hands in the fucking black cape. And finally I just go, I'm going to go. And then I take the cape off. And he goes, all right, nice to meet you. And he kind of shook his head and clucked his tongue, and I walked out, and everybody looked at me like I was an idiot. But I wasn't going to risk it. I wasn't going to risk having him fuck up because again, if you've got to ask me twice, we have a problem. If you ask me 5 times and actually run your fingers through the beard and go, so you want to lose all this? No, I don't. Oh, you want to keep all this? Yes, I do. And then you still ask, you want me to start on that side? Dude, I don't give a fuck where you start. Just take the fucking hair off my head. You know what? Get a lighter and burn it the fuck off. So she's in Dallas and she's there for the night. And so I'm like, well, fuck, I'm here. So I finished some stuff around the house. I make another trip to Goodwill, the last one that I had to make. And then I went to the mall because I have to get a new iPhone. That's the one thing I'm getting from Pat Sajak. Everything else is earmarked, but I'm upgrading my phone. So, and especially because the button on my phone stopped working. So I have to do it. So I get to the mall, I get upstairs, and I call AT&T to make sure that they're not going to change my plan if I change the phone because I have unlimited texting and data because I've been a customer for like 6 years or whatever. And so but they always have a trick where it's like, oh, you got the new phone? Well, that validates your plan. You know what I mean? Like all that bullshit. So I had to fucking sit on the phone and talk to them. So I'm talking to them, and finally it's like 7:45. And I should say that we had this conversation at like 6. That was the last time I talked to her. And her phone was dying on the plane. And I texted her before I went to the mall. And I said, listen, and I tried to be nice about it because I was worried. And I'm like, look, baby, I'm worried. It's been almost 2 hours since I've heard from you. Either you're still on the plane on the tarmac and I'm fucking furious at the airlines and your phone is dead. Or you're in line for vouchers and getting your hotel taken care of. And when you're settled, you'll tell me. I said, but I would even like a 30-second text that just says, I'm fine and I'll talk later. As long as I know what's happening, baby. So I'm at the mall. I'm on the phone with AT&T. And like I said, it dawns on me that I haven't heard from her yet. And in my head, I'm trying to parse it. I'm like, did she maybe fall asleep? Because she was so beat. I mean, she'd been up for almost 24 hours at the time. And I'm like, maybe she got right to the hotel and crashed and her phone hadn't charged yet. I mean, I'm making all these excuses in my head. And then finally, I finished with AT&T. They sorted out. They're like, you can go in and buy your phone at the Apple store. I said, great. But instead, I called American Airlines. And I said, I have a question. Well, first of all, I should tell you this. I called the Advantage Desk because I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm a gold level flyer at American. So I called the Advantage Desk and she goes, Mr. Schmidt, how can I help you? And I said, well, Gladys, here's the thing. My girlfriend is not a good flyer. And she's been on 9 planes today. And then I tell the whole story. And I'm like, my girlfriend, I'm just worried about her because she was on a plane and then she's stranded and then she started crying. She's not a good flyer. And, she's trying to be, she's flying all the time. And I'm revving. And she goes, it's okay. What's the flight number? And I told her, and I go, so I just need to know what hotel she's at. I mean, they were going to give her vouchers and all that. And did you say flight 2453? I did. Out of Dallas, Fort Worth. Yes. To LAX. Yes. That flight took off. Pardon me? That flight's in the air. How is it in the air? The pilot said never in the history of the airline have they had a problem like this. She goes, sir, I understand, Mr. Schmidt, but I'm just telling you that it took off. It left Dallas. I go, you're sure? It's not some mix-up, like it's a different plane? I go, because there was a 2453. Like I have an app that tries to follow planes in the air, and when I put in 2453, it said it left earlier, but it should have left later, and then it won't find it. It's like this fucking Twilight Zone plane. Is there a man on the wing of that plane? She goes, it's in the air. It's been in the air for over 2 hours. I go, when is it due in L.A.? She goes, 9:05. And I should tell you this. Once we started to talk, I left the mall. I didn't go by my phone. I went to the stairs. I started running to my car. Because when she starts to tell me she's doing this research and stuff, and then I get in my car and I look at, she's like, yeah, that plane lands at 9:05. I look at it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. And I go, because I don't want her to spend one more second in a fucking airport. But she didn't get to tell me because her phone was dead. So she's just going to land and then call me when she lands and goes, well, I'm sorry, I'm here. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to be the fucking hero and surprise her. So I'm running to my car and I'm driving and I'm talking to Gladys and she's like, yes, sir. I go, you got to tell me exactly when it's landing. She goes, 9:05. I go, you're sure? She goes, 9:05. I go, great. That's all I need to know. Thank you for your help. She goes, thank you for being a gold level flyer, Mr. Schmidt. I said, of course. And I hung up the phone. And now I got to get to my house and I've got to jump in the shower and I've got to shave and I've got to get dressed and I've got to get there. Because look, if I didn't have time to do it, I wouldn't have done it. But she would have seen me looking horrible. But I had to do it. I had to fucking shave because I hadn't shaved in almost 2.5 weeks. So I fucking get in the shower and I'm brushing my teeth and lathering my face to fucking shave. And I'm doing it all at the same fucking time in the shower. And then I grab the fucking razor. And I should tell you, I'm out of like razor cartridges. I only have like 2 left. And the aloe vera strip is gone. And like the razors are all rusty and shit. It's like, dude, they're the kind of razors pirates use to fight over the last piece of hardtack. I mean, that's what they are. So I've got it, but I don't care. I got to shave my fucking face. So I'm just weed whacking the shit out of my face. I'm grinding it through because it's 2 weeks worth of beard. I didn't get a chance to trim it before I shaved, and I'm hacking through it. Just fucking zoom, and I'm Zorroing the shit out of my face. And I'm letting it fucking happen, but I don't care because I'm not going to pick her up looking at some hobo. She's going to walk right past me. So I get out of the shower and I fucking get dressed and I get in the car and I'm feeling great and I can't wait because I can't wait. And I get to the airport and I pull in and I'm doing like 85 the entire fucking way there to make sure I make it on time. And I'm zooming and I'm zigging and I'm fucking zagging and a bunch of other Z words. And I finally get to the airport and I'm pulling into the parking lot. And I wanted to be there when she walked off the plane because I didn't want her to think for 1 second that she was going to be delayed. And I just wanted to see her come off the escalator and see me and see her face when she was like, finally. And so as I pulled in to the parking lot, I'm behind some dude honking. I'm honking. He's a Lexus. It's fucking terrible. Finally, I find a parking spot, and right when I pull in, I turn my car off, and then my phone lights up with a text, and it says, "Honey, I'm home. Can you pick me up?" And I was really happy, but I was also really mad because I wanted her to see me. I wanted her to see me rather than have to ask me. And part of me, because I'm still me, part of me wanted to go, oh, honey, I'm home, but it's going to be like an hour until I can get there. And then show up and be the hero. But in my head, I go, dude, the day she's had, and all you want to do is look in her eyes. That's all you want to do. So I didn't want her to have one more second of discomfort, not one. So I called her. And she answered the phone, and she's like, can you come get me? And I said, I'm here. What? I said, I'm here. I said, I called the airlines and they told me that you were coming. I said, I made sure I was here. I'm here. And she's like, okay, well, we're still on the plane. And I'm like, as long as you're not in the airport, I want to be here when you get in the airport. And she's like, well, we're taxiing. And then the fucking captain starts booming. Well, apparently, folks, they've run out of gates here at LAX. So we're going to be sitting here on the tarmac for a bit. And as soon as we can go ahead and find a gate that's appropriate that we can unload, we're going to do that. We're sorry for the delay. We know you've been through quite a bit today, but thank you. And we'll just ask for a little bit more of your patience. And I hear that clearly. And she goes, we're still on the plane. And I'm like, it's okay. You're fine. You're in Los Angeles. You're home. You're home. That's all that matters is you're home. And she goes, my phone only has like 20%. I go, then let me go. I go, and text me. Let me know what's happening. Tell me where you're going to be. But I'm in here. I'm in the airport just waiting for you. And I'm there. I'm at the Starbucks and I'm waiting. And she texts me and she's like, we're still on the plane. We're still at the tarmac. No gates. We're not moving. And then she calls and she goes, okay, we're moving now, but I don't know where they're taking us. And I go, well, are they going to Terminal 4? Because that's where I am. I go, if they're not going to Terminal 4, I need to know where I'm going. And she's like, no. I go, well, look, all your baggage is here for American. They're coming to Terminal 4. I guarantee it. She's like, well, as soon as I know, you'll know. And then I'm waiting. And then I get a text and she says, they're putting us on a bus. Because they can't find a gate, so they're going to bus us in from the tarmac. And I said, this is the craziest fucking day I've ever heard. I go, I travel a lot. This is the craziest fucking day I've ever seen. And she goes, crazy as a plane just drove past us to take off while we're in the bus on the tarmac. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. So I'm waiting for her. Because I go, where are they taking you with the bus? And she goes, I don't know. We don't know. We're just getting on the bus. And I'm waiting because I'm waiting by the escalator. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if they take them outside? Fuck, should I go outside? And I go, no, I'm going to stand here. I'm at a table. I'm right in view of the escalator. I can't miss her. And I'm there, and I'm checking my phone, and I'm waiting, and I keep looking up, and she's not there, and I'm waiting, and she hasn't texted me, and I don't know where she is. She's on the bus, and her phone's going to die, and all of a sudden there's a looming presence like approaching me. And we've done this before where we've snuck up on each other, and we didn't know we were there. So I look up with a big smile on my face, and there's a giant. Like a 6'6" giant fat dude. And he's got his phone, and he's getting to the table so he can plug it in and charge it. And he stands in front of me, and I just go, oh, dude. I go, do you need the table? And he goes, no. And I go, my girl's coming. It's fine. And he goes, no, I'm going to charge my phone. We can share the table. I go, that's fine. So he plugs it in, and I look, and my phone rings. And it's from her. And I answer the phone. I go, hey, baby. I go, you still on the bus? She goes, where are you? I go, I'm here. Where are you? She goes, I'm here. I go, where? She goes, I'm outside. I'm at 4. You said at 4. I said, well, where did they drop you off? She goes, I just came down the escalator and I didn't even see you. Blocked by a giant. That's the only thing I could think. She had to be drafting in his wake, and he fucking blocked me, and she walked right past. And so I like, at that point, it's the end of the fucking Graduate. I mean, I go, hold on. I'll find you. I will find you. Like, wherever you are, I'll find you. Don't worry. And she goes, well, honey, I'm right outside. I go, I'll find you. And I go walking outside, and I go, Jill! Jill! I like yell it as loud as I can. Everybody stops and they look at me. They're like, what the fuck? Elaine! I'm pounding on the window. And I look outside and I can't find her because 4 is long. So I don't know if they dropped her at which end of 4. And finally I gamble. I go, fuck it. I'm just going to go by the baggage. I'm going to go by the baggage. And I walk out and I head over there. And I see her. And she's standing there and she's got her earbuds in. And she's looking at her phone. And I walk up and she looks up and just her face. Dudes. If I had one wish for all of you, it would be that forever you could be as happy as I am the moment I look into Jill's face. And she looks up at me and she's got a perfect smile. She smiles in spite of everything. In spite of being up for 25 hours, 4 different planes, 3 different airports. She's still, through it all, that smile. And she says hi. And dude, she says hi like nobody in the world. And, I grab her and I held her. I just didn't want to let her go. Put her right in the snow globe. And grabbed her stuff. And we had we split finally. And she told me it was great because she had all the stories of her adventures. And she's like, I'm so sorry I couldn't get a hold of you. We took off. It was just unexpected. And I go, I don't care. You're here. Like, no matter what. And then I would tell her, that was our answer all night long. And I go, oh my God. And then I'm on the phone with American Airlines and I'm trying to talk to them. She goes, I'm here. It was just, she's here. That's all that matters. She got here. And she's going to stay here. Because she can't fucking go through this again, right? Right? She's going to stay here. She's going to stay here and she's going to let me tell this story on the air. which I guess you're hearing it. If you're hearing it, it's okay. I just don't know yet because, well, I got to get back to our place and have her sign a release. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend on Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. Our friend David Mex Hernandez does all of the music and the artwork for this show. He is a Renaissance man who I would not know what to do without. That's a double negative. He can be found at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. Hey, I was supposed to talk about David. Well, remind me. Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. And you can find his website, artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com. He does all sorts of private artwork for you, and you can go ahead and commission him and get him involved. That would be great if you found him at artbydmh.com. Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show and my great friend. You can find her at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. You can follow her at several different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. But if you'd like to write her a personal note, and find out what word she carved into her arm with a fork during the show, you can get her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Hi, I'm Bill Law, owner of Books by the Pound. Books cost too much. This holiday season, we're offering a great deal for the reader on your shopping list. 5 pounds of literature for just $5. Come in today for these fabulous titles.
The Complete Guide to Jive-Ass Bullfighters. 10 Cents and Some Topless Cats. When Irony Stole My Big Wheel. A History of Soup. Does This Smell Amish? One Nut Celebrities. It's Never Too Soon to Groom Your Bag. When Love Clogs a Bowl.
We also have a huge selection of children's favorites.
Harold and the Broken Purple Crayon. The Cat in the Colostomy Bag. Where the Wild Things Are and What to Shoot Them With. Horton Here's a Homo.
And you're sure to enjoy these Yuletide offerings.
The Night the Yeti Came to Christmastown. The Hernia That Saved Christmas. Fruitcake, the Gay Baker. It's a Blizzard. We'll Have to Eat Robert Urich. Hustler Magazine's Goldie the Snowman. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Lost It, and Had to Replace It with Flag Day. Who Bit Jesus?
Oh, these books are missing page 84.
Yogurt Recipes You'll Hate. How to Heimlich a Cripple. The Cincinnati Fart. Shakespeare, the Abridged Make Way for Old Fisheye. The Adventures of White Chin. Remember the Nazis?
So come on down to Books by the Pound, where reading is fun for everyone. With no Midas touch, books cost too much. I'm Bill Lawn. I own this place. Word.
I would like to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. That's the new way we're doing it in year 7. Instead of want to remind you folks about the Monday Teas, I would like to remind you folks. I'm adding words. I think it's important for year 7 that we add some words. We class up the joint a little bit here at the end segment.
Can we change something else then?
I'd love to hear it.
Can we say that it's on Vine at Santa Monica?
Well, I'd like to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night on Vine at Santa Monica in Hollywood. And that kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit. I guess we'll make it work.
It's pretty clunky.
It is clunky, but it gets people where they're going. That's all that matters. Clunky or not clunky, that was a word bus. Everybody hopped on and showed up at your show. So good. Glad to hear it. Everybody hop on the word bus. So there you go. I would like to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at 3 clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. There's a taco truck. There's a military surplus store. There are hobos. And there are trannies. So good luck to you. And then what I would do is I would follow the fun. Get there, park, follow the fun, and you will wind up in the building. You can totally smell the hilarity. I don't know about hilarity. You can smell the sex in the air. Well, that's pretty much all of Hollywood. Well, good for you at that Vine at Santa Monica. I will remind myself to remember that. Or I will remember to remind myself that.
A lot of people then go, it's in Santa Monica? And I'm like, no, it's on Vine at Santa Monica.
I talk too quickly.
Yeah.
Because I say, at Santa Monica and Vine. Yeah, it's silly. Because we all just hear Santa Monica and Vine. They don't hear my qualifiers or my...
Well, no, people in general are if they don't know the Hollywood area specifically, it's like, wait, it's in Santa Monica? Because they hear Santa Monica and it totally throws them off.
On Vine at Santa Monica in Hollywood. Cool. All right. Well, so there you go. Go to that show because it's a fantastic show every Monday night. And I happen to know the producer of that show. She's also the producer of this show. And she just sat down earlier today for a lengthy interview with the Earbuds podcast documentary. She signed the release, no problem. Did not care. Was thoroughly involved in signing the release.
Cared.
But you threw caution to the wind and put pen to paper.
Well, again, releases are what they are, and yeah.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the thing that bugged me. I just knocked over a bunch of napkins. Here was the thing that I did not like. Again, and I totally get these guys, and I like my friends, and I know that. But here was the part that bugged me that kind of, I was like, I further agree that producer may use and license to others to use my name, voice, likeness, and any biographical material which may have been provided to producer, including without limitation in the advertising, marketing, promotion, and merchandising of any content containing the performance, including but not limited to the picture. Without limiting the blow, I hereby waive any rights to privacy, publicity, and defamation, whether granted by statute or common law, that I may have in connection with the performance. So what that sounds like to me is they can repurpose and repackage what I did and give it to anybody, and I signed it away. And I'm hoping that my friends or pals or whatever you want to call them wouldn't do that. But I mean, I don't know who would want it. But what if there's some documentary in Thailand about dicks? And they're like, oh, this guy looks like a jagoff. Can we have some of that footage? Yes, we can. And then they fucking repurpose it and sell it to him. And it's awful. Although in Thailand, do they call them dicks? Dude, I was listening to old time radio yesterday. It was police headquarters. And this fucking guy, he's like, oh, I tell you what, these, a truck full of dicks came out and started pounding on me. And I just thought of like an 18-year-old hearing that now and going, a truckload of dicks pounded on that guy.
The name of the show.
A truckload of dicks pounded on that guy? There you go. No, what did I think this? Oh, shouldn't the show be Sandbagged by a Sandbag? I think so. Or it could be, what was the other one?
We did license that away.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's a good point. I do not own Sandbagged by a Sandbag. I had to take a break here in the middle of the show and then go film me at work. Like I said, I actually bailed and went and did it. You know what? I will have a trivia contest. If you can find the spot in the show where I took off and then came back, and not counting the break in the middle, you know what I mean, where we took a break so the Earbuds guys could leave. But if you can find the spot in the show within a minute of when I took a break and then I went to Venice and then I came back and jumped back in seamlessly, I will give you the download set of your choice. So there you go. If you can go ahead and predict it, that'll be fantastic. And that's not much of a prize for people, really, because people are all here. They already own the download sets. Yes, please.
Can I take a guess and get the prize? Because I'd like the download set of Never Not Funny.
Oh.
See what I did there?
I sure did. That's the kind of entertainment you'll find on Vine at Santa Monica. So that's the producer, Lily Bunched Up, and she's making fun. She's having some fun. We're all having Mondo hilarity here, as I've told you.
Hilarity.
Yeah. How are you, Lily?
I am spectacular.
Now, you've had a headache for a few days, which is
Yes.
disappointing. You're always in failing health. You're always in poor health.
I'm getting old. I'm 2/3 of the way dead.
We're all getting old. Well, we just had that revelation seconds ago.
Yep.
Because the two of us were talking, and she mentioned somebody was 71. And she goes, oh, it's old age. He's 71. And then she goes, that's not even 25 years away from me. And then first she goes, that's 25 years away from me. That's not even 25 years away from me.
Yeah,
And I said, nope.
I'm going to be dead soon. Enjoy.
Yep, both of us. Hopefully, we're still alive by the time the Earbuds podcast documentary comes out. But even if we're not, we've licensed our images and our voices so they can use it in perpetuity. And I think if anything in this world is going to run in perpetuity, it's going to be Earbuds, the podcast documentary. What are you doing?
Whenever I hear earbuds,
Yes.
I think of Airbud, and I keep thinking this is a movie about 4 dogs who listen to podcasts.
Dude, I love it. 4 dogs need a podcast. Dude, what if you did a podcast just 4 dogs barking? Dude, let's call it that. 4 dogs barking. Just put 4 dogs in a room and fucking mic it up. We could do that.
Well, we need 4 things for that to happen.
All right, let me think what those might be. Hold on. I'm compiling a list of what we would need for 4 dogs barking. But that's not bad. That's good. That's a podcast for other dogs. Dude, you know what it is? It's like that fake fireplace at Christmas. Now you get fake dogs to like hang out with your dog while you go to work.
Except you don't sell the fake fireplace at Christmas.
Yes, you do.
To other fake fireplaces.
I don't know why you wouldn't. It seems like a built-in market. No, dogs want a company. Like they're like, oh, dude, there's totally 4 more dogs in here, and they're like so
They
happy.
want to listen to 4 other dogs barking. I think that would.
You don't know what those dogs are saying.
Yes.
It could be some very interesting stuff.
I'm the dog bark whisperer.
Well then, this is an idea. This is the germ of an idea. I think we should do it. And if 4 Dogs Barking is not your band's name, go jump off a fucking building, Savory Biscotti.
Earwolf. I'm sure they'll.
Earwolf?
4 dogs bark.
No, they already got 4 wolves baying. 4 dogs barking. I like it. I still like that idea. I don't care. You're not going to talk me out of it. Because then you get 4 separate, that's the whole thing is it's 4 different dogs. And it's like the Odd Couple. And it's like, can these 4 dogs exist without driving each other crazy? We'll do the Odd Couple opening. There's the theme song. I got it right there. On October 11th, 1941, Mr. Jingles was asked to leave his place of residence. That request came from his master. He knew someday he would return to him because he is, after all, his best friend. So he showed up at the house of his friend, Oscar Madison. There's a dog named Oscar Madison. Yes! 4 dogs barking rocks. Dude, 4 dogs barking, 5 strippers shaving. I am rewriting the fucking 12 Days of Christmas for this show. And a savory biscotti. Perfect. That's right. All right. Okay, so my friend Lily is the producer of that show, and she does a fine job. So now, how is this week's show, Lily? May I ask? First of all, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. I know you've had your health a little up in the air, like we talked about a second ago.
My health is so up in the air. I'm
It is.
hoping to make it another 20 years.
Your health is so up in the air, George Clooney stars in it. I don't have a tie, but right now I'm loosening it.
Yes, you are.
That wasn't bad. What did I say? I said, oh, never mind. I can't say that. But I wrote a text that actually made me write a text after the one. I liked that one. And I took a picture of myself like laughing. I took a picture of myself smiling and I go, I like that one. It made me laugh. But I can't say what it is. I can't enough. So hey, Lily.
Yes.
You do this show. It's fantastic. It's called the Monday Night Tease. Who was there this week? It was a Carnival of Souls, if I remember correctly.
That was last week.
That's what I mean. Who was there this past week? Let's talk about it.
The entire Red Light Review. They're a vaudeville, carnival, circus, magic.
So there was burlesque, there was stripping, there was blockheads.
There was chicks doing sword swallowing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's...
Hot chicks doing sword swallowing topless.
Look at that.
I know.
Dude, pull that sword out of your throat and shave a man. Now we're talking. Now we're goddamn talking. This thing works. I like it. So that's good. So was it a good turnout? Everybody enjoyed it?
Good turnout.
Yeah, that's fun. Is that a review with a built-in fan base, or did you your fan base come across?
Actually, yeah, they've been going for 2 years, so they had people that came out specifically to see it.
Perfecto. That's awesome.
And it's a great troupe. I mean, it's a really good group of people.
Sweet. Hey, but earlier I talked about Books by the Pound, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to have Books by the Pound in here. I've thought of some problems in the interval. If it is in here, you've heard it already. But if it's not, I'm explaining to you now that we couldn't do it for a reason. But we'll see. It all depends on Lily and her skills.
Can't lift them?
Oh, dude. So heavy. I don't have $1. Well, good. I'm glad the show went really well. That was great. And your friend Bella was heavily involved.
Yes.
Our friend
It's
Bella.
her troupe.
Oh, good. Sweet. Now, there's a show coming up this week
Yes.
at the Monday Night Tease.
Yes.
Now, if I'm correct, this would be a show with a certain Hispanic bent. Is that correct?
Cinco de Mayo.
It is Mayo, right? Not Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
All right.
The fabulous SenorFunnyEddie.com will be hosting.
That's good to hear. I enjoy his work.
The entire show in Spanish. So
I thought you were going to say in his underwear, and I was going to say, oh, just like he was seconds ago. This is the perils of doing. Well, he took off all his clothes. It was the perils of doing the podcast in the stripper house because apparently Lily not the only one who's involved in the stripping activities.
He has never done that before in the 5 years that I've been doing this.
Not in this room, but I'm telling you, he's been naked behind that door. I've always known every time I've done a show, oh, Eddie's naked right in there. It's always lurking.
Standing there with a
Yep.
cup to the
A glass. He's got a glass of...
jacking off.
I wasn't going to go that far. I thought he just enjoyed the show, but I mean, if you think he's getting some sort of gratification out of it, then good for
I
him.
think so. I was just wondering if that's what you thought.
This would explain the Crunchy Rug. Name your band Crunchy Rug. Oh my God.
That has like 2 different ways to go.
Dude, 4 dogs barking and Crunchy Rug. Yeah, Crunchy Rug. That's great. It's like they got a 70s porn thing and it's got another thing happening. Yes, Crunchy Rug. I like it. Dude, Crunchy Rug's a good name for a band.
I want to start the Crunchy Red
Podcast? Dude, I'm your debut guest because I got
the best podcast network ever.
we really are 4 dogs barking and Crunchy Rug. I love it. The Crunchy Rug podcast. Yeah. Well, and if you want to hear about my Crunchy Rug story, buy your one. Or guess at what point in the show today I left and came back, and then you'll get year one. But who knows? We'll see if that happens. Do you know what's bothering the shit out of me? These napkins on the floor. These napkins on the floor are totally. I know, but I want to pick them up, but I can't because I have to lean away from the microphone to do it. Fuck it. I have to do it.
Do you know what's really funny? Crunchy rugs. I did a search to see if it's available.
Yes, if it's available.
Crunchycarpets.com is taken.
What the hell? God damn it.
And it's a parenting site of some sort.
Crunchy carpet sounds like a cereal. Just it stays crisp in milk. You know it does not stay crisp in milk? Saltine Hulk. All right, so.
Wait a minute.
What?
I loaded the site. You know how you have the title across the top above the address bar?
Yes.
It actually says crunchycarpets.com. Clean socks are a privilege, not a right. Oh my god.
Oh, they must know, right? They have to know. God
Clean
Lord.
socks are a privilege, not a right. Oh my
Wow.
god.
That's the most.
The parent doesn't wash their kids' socks.
That's the most Mormon thing I've ever heard in my life. Just this really uptight fucking thing to say. Dude, what if you went to crunchycarpets.com and it was just a picture of 13-year-old me in my bedroom?
That's what crunchrug.com is going to be.
Oh, it is, yeah, because, dude, and me just shrugging. Literally me with all my hair in a UFO concert shirt just shrugging. Sorry, ruined that rug. I can't even imagine the people who moved in after us. Devoured by a monster. Literally, I think, honestly, that rug, it doubled as an abortion clinic. If you really... My rug in my bedroom when I was 13 years old technically could count as an abortion clinic. So Cinco de Mayo.
Yes!
You have how many people, how many groups? Do you know who's there?
We have 8 performers, we have singers, we have dancers, we have a Latina theme.
Out of all of them?
Yes.
Out of all of these people?
Yes.
How many Z's would you have on the marquee?
None.
What? You know what though? You sold that so perfectly because literally she did Chisenbop with her fingers like big, big, big,
Well,
big,
I
big,
actually
big.
had to think, is there Z in any of their names?
We need them. We need somebody to have a Z in their name. Well, I guess there's no. Well, what about Nipples Gonzalez? Why didn't you book her?
She's busy.
It's probably the busy time of year for her. I'm not gonna lie.
I will say I'm really delighted because Beulah May is coming back. She hasn't performed in like 3 years.
I thought she was at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
She came to the festival
Okay.
and participated, but she hasn't performed in forever. But she's doing her Pee Wee Herman Tequila act.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm really happy because it's awesome.
I loved Beulah, man. I hung out with her, man. She was totally cool. She and I worked security.
Yes.
And she was sharp. I talked about her here on the show. Like, she was making me laugh and I was making her laugh, but it was going over the heads of everybody that was around us. It was totally fun. Good. I like her. That's awesome. Maybe I'll come Monday. Maybe I'll be there. I will not. I'm on a red eye. Going to see my love. Yeah, that's right. This is awesome.
A day apart is too much.
Listen, are you kidding me? We're apart for months. It's fucking depressing. So that's why this time is going to be awesome. It's literally like 11 days, 11 out of 13 days.
Wow.
Yeah, which is going to be fucking awesome. Like, I mean, yeah. And well, that is if she leaves here. I don't know if she's going to get to leave here. She might not. I told her the only reason she gets to leave is because she has to fly home with me and get her affairs in order to fucking fly back.
Doesn't sound get her affairs in order.
Yeah, you heard. Well, hey, listen. She could leave it up to me. I would go in and I would just fucking white tornado the entire fucking thing. Because I told her when she was coming out here, I'm just like, grab 5 bikinis and a dress. Done. You're here.
Also a new podcast.
5 bikinis and a dress? Oh my God. You know what?
Video podcast. It's our first launch into it, right?
I'm in. That's perfect.
Who would be hosting that show? Jill?
You know what? Oh, yeah, Jill, and Jill. It's fine with me. You know who I want to have? I want to have a crossover show. I want 4 dogs barking at 5 bikinis and a dress. Or 4 dogs barking, 5 bikinis, and a dress. That's a crowded closet. It's a crowded kennel. That is a crowded kennel. Crowded kennel. There you go. It's another one. Jesus Christ. Hipsters, listen to the show and name your bands. And then pay me. Give me some goddamn money because I'm naming every hipster band in the fucking business. Savory biscotti. All right. So the Monday Night Tease is fantastic, as we all know. So if you go to facebook.com/Monday Night Tease, you can go ahead and get all the information about upcoming shows. If you go to brownpapertickets.com, you can get tickets to all of these upcoming shows. Remember to go to facebook.com/Hollywood Burlesque Festival. And you'll get all the information about the upcoming Hollywood Burlesque Festival. That's going to be amazing. It's in like 7 months. That's crazy.
Hopefully.
You're going to bump it up? Maybe do it sooner.
Finding a venue. Welcome to LA.
It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I'll be excited to go and
maybe
enjoy
holding
it.
it in my apartment. We found out how many I can actually put
Yeah.
in here now.
Well, let's film it. So that's good. So that's go to all of those places and learn all of those things and go ahead and sign up. And please remember that our friend Lily Von Stupp has the Burlesque podcast available. Is it back at iTunes yet?
Not yet.
But you can go to the site, which is
burlesquepodcast.com.
burlesquepodcast.com. Are the archives on there as well, or just the newest one?
They're all there. There's
Okay.
like 60 episodes.
All right, there's 60 episodes of the Burlesque podcast. Are there more to come?
Yeah.
Go to burlesquepodcast.com and go and browse the archives. That's fun. And, I want to plug something that I think still exists that we never get to talk about. And I was shocked to find out that it's still around. I think it's still around. It must be, right? Do you have signmyboobs.com?
I do.
All right, it's signmyboobs.com, and it was Lily's encounters with celebrities who signed her breasts, including, I believe, Gene Simmons, and then there's photos and stuff like that. So go to signmyboobs.com and see another cool thing that Lily has done that is lurking on the web.
That has about 45 that aren't up yet because I don't have time.
You should put them up because people would love it. But yeah, so go to, like I said, go to signmyboobs.com and check out Lily and some celebrities, and then write her at Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com and convince her to put the rest of them up because they're great. And also, please remember to go to burlesquepodcast.com and listen to our friend Lily as she, we got a little surprise for you tonight. We turned the microphone over to Lily Von Stupp, and she talks to other burlesque performers on the ins and outs and the in-depth stories of burlesque history, where it's going, where it's been, and it's a wonderful chat about an art form that needs to be celebrated. So please go listen to the Burlesque Podcast at burlesquepodcast.com. You can go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend. And you can also join the Westside 86 Jokers fan club. Westside 86 Jokers. I don't want to. Nah, never mind. Go to the Westside 86 Jokers fan club. My head went somewhere else because I just did that thing and it sounded like Wheel of Fortune. And I was going to say, have you seen these clips of the people who lose on Wheel of Fortune badly? Like the person who thought it was boozing instead of booking, and the guy who thought who couldn't pronounce Achilles. And they get made fun of brutally online, and it's so awful. It's like, dude, because I will tell you, again, as a guy who has lost on a game show, several game shows, I've won big time on a couple of game shows, but I also lost. And I didn't sleep for like 3 days after I lost on Greed. It was brutal. And then when I lost $100,000, I was out in the street, and you're frozen. You're fucking frozen. And people are like, oh man, it's all found money. It is until it's right there in front of you, and then they fucking yank it away. So I feel so badly for those two people. I mean, it's just awful. And people laugh at them and they joke, and then it's like, dude, well, you get out there, man. You fucking get out there. You can't beat the wheel. Spin, spinny, spin. Can't beat the wheel. Oh, we got to talk about that. I'll get to that in a second. So please go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend. And also go to Westside 86 Jokers. It's facebook.com/Westside 86 Jokers. Or is it WS86 Jokers or something? I forget. Isn't there like a weird thing? But the number 86 is important.
Westside 86 Jokers.
Okay, go to facebook.com/Westside 86 Jokers. And remember, it's the number 86. And you can join the fan club and be part of the fan club and join all of the cool people who have said great things to us about the show. And I pop in there periodically and write stuff and answer people, and not nearly enough. And I'm going to step it up and do a lot more of that in the coming year. I need to answer emails and be better about correspondence because you guys are fucking great. So why the hell wouldn't I want to keep you in the loop on stuff? And like I said, we've got other things coming up that are going to be exciting in the coming weeks. I will tell you this. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page, this week, there's nothing new. Next week, there will be something new. Should I tell them what it is or just... Well, Year 6 will be on sale next week, not this week. And there will be a new box set, and I will unveil that next week as well. But I have to get my web guy involved, our friend Ryan. Hey, Ryan, expect an email from me. And then I will also... Mex did some artwork and all that stuff, so that will be available coming up next week, Year 6. And right now, though, you can get still one more week. I said last week it was the final week, but there is one more week to get the UN of Evil box set. And let's thank our friend Les Gebhardt, who we met at the Monday Night Teas. And Les went ahead and bought a UN of Evil box set this week. Thank you, Les. I appreciate it. Those are available to any and all as a box set or individually. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5 of this podcast. Always available. Always up for purchase. Remember, you can donate to the show in the upper left-hand corner of every single page. There's a little Schmitty with his pocket out. And if you click on him, you can donate to the show like our friend Todd Rush did this week. Thank you, Todd. We do appreciate that. And also, there's all sorts of stuff for sale. The Let's see, there's the Schmitty Comes Alive download, which I know I sold this week, and unfortunately the name escapes me. Our friend Raj bought a Big Angry CD. Thank you, Raj. That's so cool of you. The Big Angry CD, I will personalize it. I'll send it off to you. And also, there's the Schmitty Comes Alive. There's For the Life of Schmitty. And also next week, we're going to have something else for sale besides the box set. But there's going to be something else that's kind of neat next week that I'm excited about. Unfortunately, things got away from me this week. I was busy doing other things, but I will have these things ready for next week, and they will be up and ready for sale, and I will tell you about them. And I'll also tell you this. The Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt is available, and I can say this as well, will be available for the rest of our natural lives, because nobody bought them at all. Like, literally, I thought it was a good idea, and I think we sold, I don't even know how many we sold, but I can tell you this. It came into sharp relief this week just how many we didn't sell when I was cleaning my house, and I had to take 2 gigantic boxes of them and move them. And I don't know what I did, because I just felt like it was a thing that I needed to do. And it's funny, even David warned me. He's like, dude, you sure you want to rush into this? I'm like, yeah, dude, I think it's a good idea because, you do this and people like it and it seems like there's kind of a demand. And no, absolutely not. There was, I would say, yurt, dirt, nope. There was no demand. So maybe when I wind up doing live stuff, people will buy the shirts when I go out. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. But I'm not kidding. Part of me thought about just sending them to Africa so I could get the photographs of the fucking the African kids just wearing them. Like when a team loses the Super Bowl and they send their gear overseas. Dude, I totally want to send your dirt shirts to the people in Rwanda.
Let's give them to all the homeless here.
You know what? Here's what that's actually, you know what? I will tell you this. I gave a bunch of my shirts to Goodwill this week because my butler, when she quit, decided to rub it in a little bit. I think I mentioned this on the show. She left all of the T-shirts from the tours, all of them on the bed when she left, as an indicator that she didn't even want that from me. And and I was like, well, that's cool. So those are in my house. And then in my head, I kept looking at them what week, and I was like, can I sell those? What can I do with those? And I was like, no, they've been worn. They were there. And I saw literally the only thing I could think to do with them was I gave them to Goodwill. And just because I wish I could see the puzzled look on somebody's face when they pull out the Milwaukee shirt that was like the face of the Milwaukee Braves. It's like an Indian, and I want so badly to see them give these shirts to people. I want to see them on the shelf. I mean, that's the best part to me. That'd be hilarious. But I say we just fucking go with Rwanda or Somalia and just, you know what? Because those people are,
Closer to home.
I don't know, man. I think there's a better photo op if we send them over there.
Yeah, but I think people walking the streets of LA and give you a better chance of being seen by someone powerful.
Powerful, really? You think that's gonna happen? Hey, look at that hobo's shirt. Let's give that guy a job. Let's look at to hire the hobo for his taste.
Sure.
Actually, I get a better plan. Here's what I say: we give the shirts to hobos, and then we take photos for publicity for the show, and then we have them sign an ironclad release. Put your X at the bottom of this sheet of paper, hobo.
Oh my God.
So you go to the Joe Business page and all that stuff is there and it's neat and we appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead and pick up all that stuff. And please remember this, I will tell you. Well, first of all, tweakedaudio.com/40, I think is still a sponsor of this show. They were through 6 years and they have not contacted me to change anything for year 7. So I'm going to assume that tweakedaudio.com is still a sponsor of the show. So please give them your patronage. And also the Amazon.com portal where I am an associated affiliated guy. You can click through on my website. And also, I've been told that people can make a shorthand, like a link, like a, there are some people who have done it at their work and some people have done it at their home, and they can make just a shortcut, like a bookmark, where you go through my store right away and you can buy everything and then we get credit for it. So if you do a lot of Amazon stuff, that would be totally cool if you made us your bookmark, because what does that cost you? Nothing. And then we wind up seeing the benefits. We wind up reaping the benefits. And it's very important that you understand that I said reaping. Because nobody here wants to rape the benefits. Nobody. So there you go. So that stuff's all available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Now, let's talk a little bit about the interlude, which came out last week. If you have not heard it yet, please go listen and then come back. I'll wait. But if you have heard it, now you guys, you heard it. So you know how hard it is for me to keep quiet about it when I've known for months what it's going to be. I have it on a CD in my car and I keep listening to it. And the songs, remember when I hyped it to you, I said there were 2 things that I had not heard. When I went and recorded, there were things he hadn't created yet. And the 2 things were Taken by the Bees and The Big Angry. And I told you when he sent them to me, I went, Jesus Christ, these are incredible. I mean, Taken by the Bees is fucking awesome. And Big Angry, I mean, all of it is great. It's all fucking great. And I was astonished because as I listened to it, I was like, I enjoy this and I actually like the music. And, you know, Lily Saw My Cock, what a great fucking, song. And it dawned on me as I'm driving and I'm listening and I'm cranking, and, you know, dude, not only did Mex write an entire album in like 2.5 months, he played every instrument. He wrote every lyric. He recorded everything that you heard. And the entire album's about me. That's the thing that blew me away when I really thought about it. I'm like, dude, this fucking album is about me. Like, it's completely... I mean, who the fuck has that privilege in their life to where a guy wrote a fucking album about them? Jesus, I don't... It's insane. I think it's me and Pink. That's literally it. Me and Syd Barrett were the only two dudes who've had an entire album written about them. That's fucking incredible. And it's so funny. Everybody has different favorites and people have written and stuff and they wanted to know about it. Well, you know, there was a lot of response to Vascular and Yoked. And that was the song that Mex told me. He goes, dude, that's my favorite song. Like, I keep listening to it over and over. And I will tell you this. I want to give you a little inside baseball here. That was the song where I punched myself in the face when we were recording, because everything else was written for me. Everything else was pretty much on sheets of paper, and Mex was like, dude, just here's what you're going to do. And I made a conscious decision to do what he wrote. I was like, this is his baby and what he wants and his vision. And he told me, he's like, dude, feel free to just change stuff. And I'm like, no, man. I threw in little things. Like I threw in the words wet nap in one of the songs, and I threw beef ribs, Texas beef ribs, whatever. But he was right there. Like virtually, I'm going to tell you, everything you heard, 99.9% of it, David wrote. And I just played along. I was like, dude, show me what to do and I'll do it. And then he's like, dude, we got this song. And he played it for me. And he goes, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make up a ton of shit. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, it'll be fun. We'll just trade back and forth. And I said, oh, okay. And we started to do it, and it didn't work, in my opinion, the way he wanted it to work. And I felt it was because I was the weak link. Like I wasn't making it happen. And I kept trying to deliver what he wanted, and I wasn't doing very well at it. And I was getting frustrated and really ashamed. And he's just like, why are you doing this? It's okay. It's a process. It takes like 35. And in the past, when we've done the interlude, he and I would each take a break, and we'd just sit there and write a bunch of shit. And then here's the problem. I never want to share anything with him. I want to make him laugh on mic. Like I want to do stuff that he hears and he just goes, and he laughs his ass off. So I didn't want to share any of the stuff with him. So then when I would do it and maybe it wasn't working the way I wanted it to, or I wasn't able to frame it and phrase it the way I wanted to, I felt bad, because then it's like bombing, you know what I mean? And I'm like bombing in front of him, and it was terrible. And so I get this weird shame thing. So I couldn't get it. I couldn't hit the post on it. And then finally I did. I punched myself in the face, and that's when he got all freaked out. And he's like, this is supposed to be the most fun song. Like, this is the one I was really looking forward to, because everything else is drudgery and hard work that I have to do. And he goes, but this is the one where you and I get to fuck around and be funny. And you've kind of sucked all the fun out of it. And it's like, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully it didn't show in the actual song. I think it came out okay, and everybody seemed to like it very much. You know, and so you also heard the outtake earlier, which is, because we did that for like 3.5 minutes, where we just kind of talked about I like and I love and whatever the fuck. But I was astonished by it. Just by the effort. Here's the thing, there's effort and then there's talent, and when you put them both together, you get something like that's incredible. And David does it for me all the time. He writes things, he sends me things like that thing, the ending of Vascular and Yoke that you heard earlier. I didn't ask for that. He even wrote in the email, he goes, dude, I don't know if you can use this, but I think it's funny as shit. And I'm like, cool, I'm in, I'll do it. Anything he does, I'm on board with. I give him as much free reign as I possibly can, because he keeps me endlessly entertained, and out of the goodness of his heart, because it's not like he's making a ton of fucking dough here. And so I can't thank him enough, everything that he's done. And so this year, he actually, you know, you heard the new theme song, obviously, for Year 7. Well, he's recorded a couple of different outros this year. And we're going to go with one now that is a little different, because he was seized by the idea, and he's like, you know what if we did this? And it's so funny. I'm so lucky to have a guy who just goes, what if we did this? And then I go, that's cool. And then it's done in like 12 hours. Like he just does it and sends it. And I'm like, how the fuck did you do this? You have 2 kids, you have a family, you got a fucking Lhasa Apso. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know if it's a Lhasa Apso. It's a dog. It's a mop. He's got a mop. But he just sends stuff. So here you'll hear the new outro, one of them, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he changes them up for each season, and we'll alternate. They'll be different as we go through the year. Well, not really. I think it's only 2, so it won't be different every week. But if I could, the whole show would just be his music and intros and outros. And honestly, with the schedule we have coming up in May and June, that might happen. You may just hear intros and outros and theme music and songs, and then we'll just have an interlude every week. You know, hey, Mex, can you do that? Can you just do an interlude for me every week? coming up certainly for the next couple of months, because unfortunately Lily's going out of town. She's going to Hawaii. She's leaving me high and dry, and I don't know how to use Audacity or a laptop or a microphone. I can't do any of this stuff. And, I need my Lily to do this goddamn show. So if there's any way that you could go ahead and just write another album or 2 or 4. How about that? Do 4 albums. Dude, could you totally write 4 albums about me? That'd be fucking fantastic. You know what? Write an album about you. Dude, like the Kiss solo albums. Write a Lily album and write a me album and write a you album. And then we'll release them all with the fucking individual thing. What's the 4th album? What could the 4th album be? Dude, why don't you just do an album under the band Savory Biscotti? Why don't you cut Savory Biscotti's first album? It'll be a Lily album, a Mex album, a me album, and then a Savory Biscotti album. That's fucking fantastic. Literally, this show starts as a tiny snowball, and at the end, the hundreds are dead at the bottom of a ravine. I mean, I get that. Believe me, if there's any show in the history of the world that does not need to be transcribed for posterity, it's this one. I like when nobody can see the seams. I like when I'm able to kind of just, fly with the bees wherever. When I have to actually stop the bees and ask for directions, that's not fun. I just like unleashing the bees, but when the bees have to stop in mid-flight and we all have to kind of look at each other and bust out a fucking map, that's not fun at all. I want to saddle up these bees and ride, goddammit! I'm done.